Army and own a barbershop. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our football seniors. Athletic trainers. First up, we have Mackenzie Grimes. Mackenzie is being escorted by her parents, Carol and Michael Grimes, and also her siblings, Riley Ann and Joey.
Hey, Joey.
Mackenzie participates in FFA, FCCLA, and is an athletic trainer. After high school, Mackenzie plans to attend Sam Houston State University to earn her teaching certification so she can become an ag teacher. Next up, we've got Savannah Ray. Savannah is being escorted by her parents, Christy and Doug Ray, and her sister, Cheyenne. Savannah participates in FFA, FCCLA, Student Council, and is an athletic trainer. After high school, Savannah plans to attend Navarro College to earn her LVN license. Coming up next, we have McKaylee Watson. McKaylee is being escorted by her parents, Jacqueline and Sloan Thedford, and her sister, Mindy Denbo. McKaylee participates in FCCLA, softball, track, and is an athletic trainer. After high school, McKaylee plans to attend Navarro College to obtain her associate's degree, then transfer to the University of Texas at Arlington to become a labor and delivery nurse. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our athletic training seniors. Next, we have our cross-country seniors. Our first cross-country senior is Mildred Callell, who, due to a basketball game, cannot be here tonight, but her parents and her brother, Joel Callell, are walking for her. Mildred participates in cross-country, basketball, tennis, track, theater, FCCLA, and academic UIL. After high school, Mildred plans to attend Navarro College to finish her basic education and then transfer to another college and eventually earn her master's degree. Next, we have Ivan Garcia. Ivan is being escorted by his parents, Alma and Manuel Garcia. Ivan participates in cross-country, basketball, and track. And after high school, Ivan plans to finish his basics and then pursue a degree in electrical engineering. And our last cross-country senior is Roy Daisy. Roy is being escorted tonight by his parents, Miyako and Dan Daisy. Roy participates in cross-country, track, and band. After high school, Roy plans to become an English teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now moving on to our band seniors. First up, we have Shelby Bird. Shelby is being escorted by band director Kevin De Laverne. Shelby participates in band, theater, and FCCLA. After high school, Shelby plans to attend Tarleton State University to major in music and hopefully become a musician. Next, we have Jennifer Drago. Jennifer is being escorted by her family, Dana, Tim, and Adrian Drago. Jennifer participates in band and FCCLA. After high school, Jennifer plans to earn her 2-year associate's degree in biomedical engineering. Is being escorted tonight by his grandmother, Arla Catherine. Tim participates in band, theater, and he is an FCCLA officer. After high school, Tim plans on attending Tarleton State University and earning a bachelor's degree in fine arts. Next up, we have Kimberly Thorman. Kimberly is being escorted by her parents, Michelle and Carl Thorman, and her sisters, Allison and Maddie, and her brother, Christopher. Kim participates in band, theater, FFA, FCCLA, National Honor Society, ATSSB, and UIL. After high school, Kim plans to attend Tarleton State University to study music and education in hopes of becoming a band director. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we have Navarro Vasquez. Navarro is being escorted by his stepfather, Kevin Irwin. Navarro participates in band and FCCLA, and after high school, Navarro plans to attend TSTC to earn a 2-year certification in automotive technology. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our band seniors. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to recognize our senior cheerleaders. Our first senior cheerleader is Haley Howard. Haley is the daughter of Amy and Richard Howard, and Haley participates in cheer, theater, and student council. After high school, Haley plans to attend TSTC to start a trade in culinary arts. Our next cheerleader is Jocelyn Sewell. Jocelyn is the daughter of Nikki Parker Mazik and her father, Joshua Sewell. Jozzy participates in cheer and powerlifting. After high school, Jocelyn plans to attend Navarro College to complete her associate's degree and then go wherever the wind takes her. Our next senior cheerleader is Becca Prater. Becca is the daughter of Tiffany and Jesse Prater. Becca participates in cheer, volleyball, student council, theater, and she is an FCCLA officer. After high school, Becca plans to attend Tarleton State University to earn a bachelor's in elementary education. Our next senior cheerleader is Katie Wigington. Katie is the daughter of Stephanie and Darren Wigington. Katie participates in cheer, volleyball, FFA, theater, student council, and she is an FCCLA officer. After high school, Katie plans on becoming a nurse. Our next senior cheerleader is Bailey Williams. Bailey is the daughter of Cherie and Brad. Bailey participates in cheer, volleyball, FCCLA, FFA, FCA, and softball. After high school, Bailey plans on attending Navarro College and furthering her education from there. And our last cheer senior is Faith Wood. Faith is the daughter of Sharon and Russell Wood and the sister to Jeremy, Billy, and Maddie. Faith participates in cheer, powerlifting, and FFA. After high school, Faith plans to finish her basics education and transfer to Baylor to earn a degree and become a dental hygienist. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for our cheer seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up one more time for the class of 2021. Congratulations, all the best.
Good evening, football fans, and welcome to tonight's broadcast between the Blooming Grove Lions, the home team, and the visiting Rice Bulldogs in a battle of District 7 Class 3A Region 2. And this is a matchup that could be, well, it will be. It will be for a district championship. Yes, and sir. Also, these two teams will be jockeying for position in the playoffs because the loser of this game will play Gunter.
Ooh, wow.
And Gunter, out of District 8, Class 3A, Division 2, barely got by or barely lost to Pottsboro 34-21, and we know what Mr. Plowler, the quarterback at Pottsboro, can do.
Yes, sir.
For the Pottsboro Cardinals. And I tell you what, the winner of this game has got a lot of incentive. I tell you that right now, because you don't want to meet Gunter in the playoffs. Their only loss of the season for Gunter has came at the hands of the Pottsboro Cardinals. And boy, that was a big game right there for Gunter, a proving point that they belong in that district. They have ran the gamut in that district, District 8 this year. And for Rice, Palmer, Blooming Grove, and Edgewood, you've got four teams that are three teams virtually locked in first place, Rice, Palmer, and Blooming Grove. But because Rice has taken care of Palmer already, by virtue, they're playing this game with Blooming Grove as the district championship tonight.
They'll be playing for the district championship.
Yeah, district championship. It don't get any bigger than this, folks. This is a prime time game tonight on a Friday night. Friday Night Lights here in Blooming Grove, Texas. Small town high school football, and we love small town high school football. That's why we do what we do every week during football season.
Love it, love it, love it, baby.
And then we carry on from the regular season to the district part of the schedule into the playoffs. And who knows, we might be following these Rice Bulldogs to the next round.
We might be.
Well, a little bit of background about the Rice Bulldogs, and I'll give a breakdown of both teams. And it's kind of hard to hear because we are right by the speaker and for the PA system here, and it is very, very loud, I must say.
I'm telling you, it's right in our ear. What'd you say? I'm talking about literally.
Yeah, literally, right in our ear, yeah. Players to watch for Rice this year, and it's been an ongoing thing with Rice. They're putting people in and out of the lineup each week. They're performing at high levels right now and doing a great job. But we got to speak about fullback Tommy Bernal for the Rice Bulldogs. And Bernal has rushed 62 times on the year for 334 yards and has a 158-yard game against Mildred on 18 carries with 3 touchdowns. That was the most yardage and the most TDs he's had in a game this year. 5 total TDs on the year, and Bernal is somebody you need to watch out for in this Rice Bulldog lineup. Also, Josiah Morris, 567 yards on 69 carries this season and 7 TDs. And Josiah Morris, he is going to be your tailback, and he is going to be sweep left, sweep right all night.
All day long. They split him out.
And he can break it, and he can hit the promised land just like that. I promise you that. Jerry Montgomery, another one. He'll be wearing 25 tonight for the Rice Bulldogs. 39 carries, 328 yards, 4 touchdowns on the season. And then Zach Myers, the quarterback for the Rice Bulldogs. 163 yards on the ground and 19 attempts and 4 touchdowns. But Zach Myers had his best game of the season running the read option attack for the Rice Bulldogs for 122 total yards and threw for another 77. And then it was the young man, and I'm going to get his name right quick. I'm trying to get familiar with him.
Yeah.
Jacob Jesse coming into play that game also. And Jesse came up big with 62 yards receiving to go with a game-winning catch for his quarterback, Zach Myers.
Yes, sir.
And Jesse's someone we need to pay attention to when the Rice receivers have the opportunity to run their routes and go out for a pass tonight, because their primary job is to block in this type of offense. They run the power I, and it's the receiver's responsibility to seal the edge and get those runners outside. So he'll be sealing the edge for Josiah Morris tonight to free him up on the outside, whether it's the left side or right side. And watching Josiah Morris in warm-ups a while ago, he is a jitterbug,
yes,
and he's got some wheels to him too. So Josiah Morris, keep your eye on him, folks. Defensively, Tommy Bernal, again, that name keeps coming up, but Tommy Bernal, the leader, with 118 tackles on the season, 4.5 sacks, 7 tackles for losses, and 3 forced fumbles on the year.
Wow.
And Tommy Bernal, Blooming Grove better have Tommy Bernal's number tonight and keep him blocked the whole night, or he's going to cause lots of problems for that Blooming Grove offense. I promise you that. Also, Jerry Montgomery, outside linebacker, 72 tackles. And number 75 tonight, defensive tackle Angel Banda, who's missed the last 2 games, I might add. He's going to have to be accounted for by Blooming Grove at all times because he's a force to be reckoned with also for these Rice Bulldogs tonight, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
The secondary led by Bryson Clark at safety alongside Mike McMillan. And the 2 corners, Josiah Morris and Damian Aguilar. Aguilar is a name we haven't mentioned yet, but Aguilar is going to work one of the corners with Josiah Morris, and they're shut down corners, I hear. So Blooming Grove's going to have their work cut out for them offensively tonight.
Right, not to mention Luke Chapman and Ethan Gray, and also with Kenneth Brown. Joy, you got to watch them on that D-line.
Yeah, Big Kenny Brown, number 70 on the D-line, and he's going to be anchoring that D-line down for the Rice Bulldogs tonight. And it's going to be pretty salty up front for the Blooming Grove Lions on offense, and they're going to have to, and they've got a young offensive line, they're going to have to hit Rice in the mouth tonight often and early if they want a chance to win this ball game tonight with the Rice Bulldogs. Like I said, you know, you've got a multi-facet offense, though, with Rice, and I'll tell you why. They can run out of the spread formation or they can line up and play smash-mouth football with you. And if they need to run out of the spread, they will. And what they love to do is run the time off the clock and keep the offense off the field for the opposing team.
That is smart.
And they do a lot of that very good over in Rice, I can promise you that.
And I tell you what, Joe, this is going to be a tabernacle here, but both of these guys, both of these teams come out fired up and ready. I mean, they chanting, they hitting each other in the head, busting each other in the face. Oh, man, they ready for comeback. It's going to be a tough one tonight.
It's a lively group, you know, and I want to mention this too. In the early 90s, did you know Rice didn't have a school?
Oh, man.
Most of those kiddos and well, grown-ups now like ourselves, they went to Blooming Grove.
Oh, okay.
You remember back in the day, I mean, of course, we went to school at Malakoff, but back in the day, Blooming Grove had a lot of kids.
A lot of kids. We was
and
wondering where they came from.
that was one of the reasons why. When Rice had their school built, a lot of those kids moved out and went to Rice School. And this has kind of become a rivalry over the years now since the 90s with these two teams. Wow. And it may get pretty chippy out here tonight, my friend.
I think it is. I think that kind of scared me watching them, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the Palmer game really kind of got it off for the Rice Bulldogs, if you will. Put them in position. They reeled off wins against Gateway and Mildred before coming up 3 points short against Edgewood when Edgewood scored with 30 seconds remaining. Edgewood, we always know, is good year after year. They're kind of down this year, but they always get up to play these Navarre County and Henderson County teams. We know that for sure because we've been a part of some of those rivalries ourselves.
Yes, sir.
Well, Edgewood exposed the defense that night, the D-line, and Rice was 2 starters short that night, Marcus. So they exposed them a little bit and took advantage of that D-line for Rice with the run and did a good job with that, I must say. Rice clinched a spot in the playoffs with a 41-22 win over Scurry Rosser last week. And now, like I said, it's for all the marbles here because this means, you know, if Rice wins this game tonight, they will get the winner of Gunner and Whitewright.
And I'm thinking it's Gunner. It's going to be Gunner.
Well, no. Gunner's going to be the first place team out of District 8.
That's right. Okay.
Gotcha. Now, the winner of this game between Rice and Blooming Grove will play either Whitewright or, let's see, Leonard. Okay.
Leonard, okay.
Because White, Wright, and Leonard plays tonight over in District 8.
Okay.
And that will decide the third and fourth place teams.
Woo.
Okay, Gunner is your first place team.
Okay.
So the loser tonight loses a lot of ground in the state high school playoffs next week by virtue of dropping from 1 to 4, just like that.
Ooh.
Because this district has been so jumbled up.
Yes.
You know, you say you take care of business, the rest falls into place, you know.
Right.
And I think this district's been an upside-down, topsy-turvy district in a fairly competitive district from what I've seen and studied on this District 7, Class 3A Region 2, Division 2. It's been a district, I don't want to say of doom, but maybe gloom for some because they've had to overcome a loss here and there by teams that they really wasn't expected to lose to.
Woo.
So, with that being said, you either go from first place to fourth place right here, and this is a big game because your playoffs could end very well
the first round
next week in the first round playing a team like Gunter.
Yeah, if you lose.
You don't want to do it. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
No, you don't want to do it. Gunter, as good as they are, and they are good as advertised, playing with Pottsboro like they did, folks, you don't want to chance that and play a team like Gunter off the bat,
yes, sir.
Whose only loss was to Pottsboro, and Pottsboro is a heavy favorite, heavy
state champion
in
team?
Class 3A, Region 2. Region 2, Class 3A Division 1. And that is the region of doom over there in Class 3A Division 1 Region 2 with Mineola, Malakoff, Pottsboro, Gladewater, Winsboro even coming along.
Man.
That is a heavy, heavy-hitting district and a region, and this is a heavy-hitting Region 2 dropping down to Class 3A Division 2. But like I said, you don't want to play Gunter.
No. So you better win tonight.
White, Wright, and Leonard are your best bets to play one of those two teams. They've had kind of a middle-of-the-run season, if you will, this year.
I will.
And I don't know, the matchups is probably going to be a whole lot better playing one of those two teams than it will be for Gunter.
Yes, sir.
If you play Gunter, you're going to have to bring it. And I mean bring it. No mistake-free. And you're going to have to control the offensive and defensive line all night long, and you're going to have to contend with a lot of athleticism that Gunter brings to the field of play. Not saying that either one of these two teams can't do it.
Yeah, might be capable of doing it.
But it will be hard. You want to get that first seed because you're guaranteed to play the fourth seed in that district.
Exactly.
And we all know most of the time that is the weaker seed, the fourth seed out of the district. But as we've seen this year, as we've seen this year, sometimes that does not matter at all because 1 through 4 could be your fourth place team could be just as strong as your first place team, and in this case tonight, that could be very, very true between these two ball clubs tonight. And we're excited to be here, folks. I'm Joey Snowden, along with my good friend and the Hall of Famer over Malakoff, Texas, Mr. Marcus Dow.
What's up, y'all?
Aaron Scott, the producer of our show tonight, and Jonathan Snowden, my son, on camera tonight. So we are thrilled to be here. We were thrilled to take on this venture as SHN Sports people that we are. We also have our own network, Malakoff Tiger Sports Network, but it is via SHN Sports, and we are coming tonight as a neutral party. And just a little bit, I've covered both these teams for the Corsicana Daily Sun some. So I've got a little history between these two teams playing each other myself.
And you kind of live close to both of them.
Well, I do. I live in Corsicana, so I could almost spit on both of them.
I'm trying to tell you, throw a rock and hit one of them.
Well, I don't know. My arm's kind of out of shape now, Marcus. I throw that, I might be in the ER. Not a good place for me to be. But, hey, it's an exciting night to be here for football. And we're just glad to be here on a Friday night. Friday Night Lights here. Small town football USA, where we want to be at tonight. No other place you want to be, folks, I promise you.
We're outside in the cool breeze on top.
Yeah, I had to get me a little windbreaker tonight, Marcus.
Yeah, I got me a windbreaker today, man, because, my hair, I ain't got no hair right.
You don't have hair.
Man, y'all know I'm cold.
You probably needed to bring a beanie tonight up here.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this hoodie on.
And our good friend Aaron, he's over here in a T-shirt. I don't know what he was thinking.
Well, he's hot-natured.
Yeah, he's hot-natured.
I'm hot-natured. Hey, want to give a shout-out to Douglas Snyder, watching from East Texas,
What's up, Douglas Snyder?
Hey, Douglas, welcome to the broadcast tonight, my friend, or telecast, both, I guess you could say now that we're doing the telecast this year, all nice and legal-like.
That's right. Get your people, call the people, tell them to tune in, man.
Yeah. I want to give a little rundown on the Blooming Grove Lions, Marcus.
Okay.
Kelton Bell, the sophomore, usually will take the nod at quarterback. He has 411 yards passing this year, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and a long of 94 yards. Now, that's a good 94 yards is a long way on a pass. That sets in on school records right there, and maybe even high school football records itself for Texas.
Exactly.
But, hey, Kelton Bell got a strong arm, just a sophomore. And then they'll be led by number 2 at senior, Bubba Beacon.
Matthew, they call him. Matthew Bubba.
Matthew Bubba Beacon.
Yeah.
104 carries for 715 yards, 6.9 yards per carry, and 89.4 yards per game is what Matthew Bubba Beacom is going to do tonight.
He's also a senior tonight.
He's a senior tonight, and they celebrated senior night here in Blooming Grove. Also, Timothy Hamilton will take some snaps at quarterback. He's also a running back and splits out at receiver. He's just a sophomore. He's had 75 carries for 466 yards rushing, 58.3 yards per game this year with a 6.2 yard average. Right. That's pretty good right there for a sophomore.
Yeah.
You know, freshman, sophomore, and both these teams have them. They're stepping up into a different level because game speed is a little bit faster and it takes a little bit more time for those players to adjust from freshman or JV ball or junior high ball when they get up here and start playing with the big boys. It's a big adjustment for these kiddos to come out here and do this. But a lot of them have done it and proved that they can do it, and they're probably really excited tonight, probably playing for some of their first district championships in a long while.
Wow.
And I want to say that since 2015, if I'm not mistaken, and folks correct me if I'm wrong, since 2015, the Rice Bulldogs, I believe, have not played for a state championship since 2015.
Wow.
So I may be wrong about that, and I may have it mixed up.
About there?
I believe I got it right. I did a lot of studying last night, a lot of cramming today and studying, and so I hope I get this right tonight. Trying my best. We're not familiar with either team, although I do keep up with them via the Corsicana Daily Sun.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you didn't get it right, they'll sure let you know.
Oh, yeah, they're good about that.
Let you know.
The fans will let you know quick. Also, we mentioned sophomore Timmy Hamilton, but Jalen Coleman, a junior, has 13 carries for 121 rushing yards this season as well.
I like that.
And you can look for Jalen probably to be a multi-athlete type person. He may split out. He may play quarterback. He could do everything for the Blooming Grove Lions. So,
and speaking of the Blooming Grove Lions, Joy, they coming to the field, coming out the tunnel.
Yeah, folks, the Blooming Grove Lions are all dressed in blue tonight and have the blue helmets and blue bottoms on with the white stripes. And I really can't hear myself. But here comes the Rice Bulldogs down the field to play.
Whoa.
And Rice has on the white tops and the dark blue bottoms and the dark blue helmets. And they've taken the field, and shortly we'll begin the national anthem here. I think we've covered everything in pregame that there is to cover. And, again, folks, we are proud to be here. I'm Joey Snowden along with my good friend and cohort, Mr. Marcus Dow, the Hall of Famer.
What's going on, y'all?
And hopefully we'll walk the dog a couple times
We're going to
tonight.
walk the dog and walk it like it walking and talk it like it talking.
Well, I tell you what, this game could be a old-fashioned knock-down slobber jocker.
Ooh-wee.
And I tell you what, I'm kind of ready to see this one. And you may look for a lot of running in this game tonight.
Yeah.
Lots of running.
Of the national anthem, if everyone would look toward the north, toward the gym, that's where the flag is, the Blooming Grove School Band.
And we will have the plan of our national anthem.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right, the good old national anthem played by the Blooming Grove High School Lions Band. And we're about to get things underway here, excuse me.
And I always bring a little tickle to my soul, Joy.
Well, I tell you, we've spent many a times on the sidelines,
yes,
my
sir.
friend, and up in the press box hearing that same song, and nothing puts a tune to your heart like the national anthem.
Make you ready to play ball.
Looks like captains tonight for the Blooming Grove Lions going to be Justice Revel, and for the Rice Bulldogs will be Adam Bernal.
And your captains
Yes, sir.
will be number 12, Justice Rebel.
Let's get it together here.
So Blooming Grove has won the toss and declined to the second half, which means Rice will receive the football.
And come out and show them what they do.
Rice will be going from our left to our right, wearing all white jerseys. And that was Mike McMillan.
Yeah, Mike McMillan.
Yes, the senior captain tonight for the Rice Bulldogs. Anxious to get things underway here in Blooming Grove, Texas.
Referees are giving each other doubt and finna get this thing started.
McMillan also, just want to, bring mention to McMillan. 13 solo tackles this year, 21 assists. No sacks on the year, but 34 total tackles and a fumble recovery on the season for the senior McMillan for the Rice Bulldogs.
And I judge, this Rice team look real mean and low to the float. Ooh-wee,
We're gonna see how mean they are, my friend. We're gonna see how mean both these teams are, and you might look at opening kickoff right here. Special teams kind of tells the tale, my friend.
Here we go.
And the wind gust and our paperwork starts blowing.
Yeah, here you go. The wind started blowing right for the game.
Looks like Carter Grant will tee it off. I believe that's who it is.
Uh-oh.
And a nice return so far by number 22, Carson Selman.
Yeah.
Selman gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line, where the Rice Bulldogs will set up shop, first down and 10.
Knocked out of bounds by Bubba.
And that was Emmanuel Rosas kicking off for the Blooming Grove Lions.
Yes, sir. And right now, Blooming Grove look a little taller bigger than the Rice Bulldogs, but
they've got the dark unis on, but Rice comes out very quick, my friend.
Aggressive. Hand off to the second back
hand
through.
off to the second back through, and I tell you what, that Blooming Grove defense is swarming to the football.
Yeah, no love with
no
that.
gain on that play. It'll bring up second down and 10 to go for the Rice Bulldogs.
Yeah. Number 76, Jesus Sanchez. Got up in there. He's a senior also.
That power I formation is going to be a pitch.
Oh, stumbled a little bit.
Oh, it looked like a face mask right there.
I don't know what that was. Like a fumble also, but
yeah, I tell you, that looked like a face mask to me.
Wow. Let's see what they call here.
Yeah, Bernal on the carry that time for the Rice Bulldogs in a 3-yard loss.
Yeah.
It's going to be third down and about 12 and a half to go for the Rice Bulldogs, and Blooming Grove has come out fired up on defense.
Like he kind of clotheslined them a little bit.
Well, from my vantage point, I really couldn't say truthfully, but it looked like a face mask almost if you didn't grab the shoulder pad. Going to be a spread formation this time. Pass is completed.
But not enough, look like.
That's going to be Bernal with the catch from the quarterback, Zach Myers, for the Rice Bulldogs. Just shy of first down yardage needed. It'll be fourth down, and we'll call it 4 from up on top of this press box.
Yeah, he was brought down by Jackson Hoover.
I tell you what, Rice comes out showing run, and then they dink a little pass over the middle there.
Right.
To Bernal, and Bernal
Enjoy, they going for it,
one
too.
tackle away. Sure they are.
Going for 5.
Watch the pitch right here.
Oh,
going to be handoff to the tailback.
Oh,
it's a first down. Bernal has first down yardage across the 45.
Look at that.
And he'll be called down at the 48-yard line for the Rice Bulldogs, and that'll be a Bulldog first down.
And man, did he plow through them guys, brought down by Josh Glasgow.
And there's going to be an injury timeout on the field of play here.
Yeah,
we'll keep it right here. But the Bulldogs, they came out here on 4th down going for it, needing about 4 yards, and do get that on the carry from Bernal.
Yes, they did. And definitely bringing the power.
So hopefully this young man's got maybe just cramping up on a cool night, like this. It starts off warming and then cools down. You get a case of the cramps, and that looks like maybe what's happening right now is getting some cramps worked on. Yeah. And it's easy to do.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And I'd like to see how the fans and everyone.
And that's what it looks like it is right there from Bernal.
Yeah.
They certainly can't afford to lose Tommy Bernal.
Yeah.
He's also their punter.
Yes, sir.
For the Bulldogs, and hopefully that's just a case of the cramps. So get them some water, rehydrate, and get back in there.
Enjoy the stands are pretty packed, but they're social distancing though.
Well, there's a lot of people here from Rice tonight. Like I said, these two schools have some history here between each other, and has become a rivalry over the years.
Yeah, great social distancing. Everybody has on their mask and looking good out here.
Looks like Jerry Montgomery checks in at running back, the senior for the Rice Bulldogs. In the backfield, Josiah Morris, quarterback Zach Myers. And Rice gets up to the line of scrimmage very quick. Pitch out to Morris, trying to stretch it out to the left side. Cuts back inside. He could not do it. The Blooming Grove defense did an excellent job that time, making Josiah Morris cut back against the grain.
Yes, sir.
He wanted to get outside but could not do it, and that's what you call disciplined football right there for the Blooming Grove defense,
Yes,
Marcus.
sir. He was kind of met at the line by Colton Nicholson.
And I'll tell you what, Rice is looking over at the coaching staff, head coach Andy Mills and company, Michael Scott, Steve Burkett, Antonio Burks, Rusty Blankenship, T.J. McVeigh, Cameron Hurd, and Trey Henderson. Oh, and there's a pass right there that's incomplete, intended for Montgomery.
Kind of overthrow, but Adam Tarver was on that pass right there.
Yeah, and I really think that Montgomery was in position to make that catch had that throw been there.
Yeah.
And I know that they don't pass a lot, but they can pass the football.
Yeah, he got pressured, so he had to throw that away.
In a game like this, you're going to show what you always do, but you're going to add that wrinkle in there too, because you're trying to win the district championship. You want to throw that football a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
Going to be a spread formation. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, rolling out, and this time Montgomery can't bring it down.
Montgomery couldn't bring it down, but good pass that time, George.
Well, it was on the money, Marcus. And had he had gotten that pass, he would have been stopped well short of first down yardage around the midfield stripe. So it's if you're going to throw that ball right there, you might want to take it downfield a bit to give yourself a chance to get to the markers.
Exactly. Timmy Hamilton was right in his face, George. He would have caught it. He would have been down right there.
Trying to get a number on this punter here for Rice.
Rice in punt formation.
Oh,
and that's not a very good punt. But again, Bernal is the starting punter, and he is out right now.
Man, and that puts
I believe that
in
was
great position.
Mike McMillan handling the punting chores that time for Rice.
Yeah.
And you lose a player like Bernal who does a lot of things for you. It hurts your chances here. Right, it really does. And hopefully he'll get back in the ball game. He's a tough young man.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Eric watching in Orlando, Florida.
Well, hello, Eric.
And Patricia Perez in New Deal, Texas. What's going on?
What a deal, New Deal. First down and 10 for the Blooming Grove Lions. And it's going to be a quarterback draw around the right side. It has first down yardage and more.
He got room.
And he could take this when he's tripped up along the way around the 20-yard line. And that's Timmy Hamilton on the run.
Yeah, Timmy got down on that one. He was brought down, saving touchdown by Bryson Clark.
Close to about a 40-yard pickup that time for the Lions.
Yes,
and
sir.
Timmy Hamilton. And Hamilton showing he's got some wheels, Marcus.
Yeah, man. He took it and went with it. Didn't look back either.
Lions looking over at the coaching staff.
They trying to say, what happened here?
Irvin Chandler. We had a chance to visit with head coach, athletic director Irvin Chandler earlier. Nice enough to let us park inside the gate.
Oh, yeah, we always love that.
First and 10 for the Lions from the 18-yard line.
Made in motion, spread formation. This is going to be just a little handoff right here. Look at him go.
My.
Going to be about 8 or 9 yard pickup on that run. Trying to get a number who had the ball that time. I believe it was Beacon.
Well, it was brought down by Luke Chapman.
Well, it's going to be coming back, though. It was a legal procedure. Little hanky-panky thrown on the ground there, so that'll back him up 5. It'll bring up first down and 15 now for the Lions.
Yes, sir.
Kind of interesting. Hamilton starting at quarterback tonight for the Blooming Grove Lions.
Right.
And we've got Bubba Beacon on the right side. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 man in motion right to left, 1 receiver to the left.
Hand off to the first back through. He slips and slides, Joy, but able to pick up 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, Beacon picked up maybe 3 yards on that carry, but the Rice defense stiffens up right there. It'll be second down and 12 yards to go for the Bulldogs.
Shout out to Potato Head, watching his boys from Rice, and I did say Potato Head.
Mr. Potato Head.
Made me hungry. Potato Head, what's going on?
Hamilton, the quarterback,
Oh.
offside.
Free play here, George.
Yeah, it's a free play. Milton
Let's see
rolling
what he
left,
does.
looks left, throws left, pass is caught. Oh, what a catch.
Caught like about to one, ain't it? What about that's
There's a penalty marker on the play, but I believe
Yeah.
this is going to be encroachment on the defense.
yeah.
And that catch was made by Jackson Hoover.
Yeah. He vacuumed cleaned that one, didn't
He sure did. He
he?
sucked
Sucked it up.
Hey.
Got him.
First and goal for the Lions here, who've came out strong and fired up.
Man, oh man. 7 minutes, 17 seconds left in the first quarter. Your score is still 0-0, but Blooming Grove is in the red zone. See what they finna do here.
Going to be a quarterback RPO, and he's going to scoot into the end zone for the first 6 of the game. Timmy Hamilton on the run. Now a little swinging gate action here by the Blooming Grove Lions, trying to catch Rice asleep. Rice may have to call timeout here. They're going to go for 2, Marcus.
Yep.
And I believe they got a timeout called. Or, yeah, a false start is the call against Blooming Grove. Someone jumped on that left side trying to perform that old swinging gate right there for the 2.
I never did like that swinging gate stuff.
Yeah, especially after, running 60 yards for a touchdown or 20 or 30. You're kind of tired already. And
right. You got to
it takes a lot of concentration, I promise you. Rosas will come in to attempt the point after the left-footed kicker's kick is blocked.
Yep.
And I couldn't see who got a hand on that ball, but there was just enough
Like that was number 8.
hand on it.
Luke Chapman.
It might have been Luke Chapman, but he got just enough his hand on it to change the trajectory of the ball, and it kind of turned out being a sinker. So our score 6-0, 7:03 left to play in the first quarter.
Timothy Hampton with a quarterback sneak, 4-yard run, touchdown.
And a game across the way. Teague over Fairfield right now in the first quarter, 7-0.
Okay. Watch out, T.
Brock 7, Pilot Point 0. And that's about all we got right now. Atlanta over Jefferson. Oh my, 6-0 so far.
Look at that.
So those Rabbits over in East Texas over the Bulldogs, 6-0.
They say it's rabbit season.
Wascally Wabbits. All right, Rosas will tee it off for the Lions here from his own 40-yard line.
7 minutes, 3 seconds left in the first quarter. Your Blooming Grove Lions are up 6-0.
Josiah Morris back for your Rice Bulldogs, along with number 22, Carson Selman. Short kick fielded by Kobe Jesse, and Jesse with a nice return all the way across the 35 to the 37-yard line, call it.
Brought down by DeMarco DeBrow.
And Rice will set up shop first down and 10 from their own 37-yard line.
Right.
Make it to 38 now.
Yeah. Let's see what the Rice offense can come up with now. And they come to that line quick, don't they?
Yeah, they get up quick.
Woo.
And
There
there's
it
the
is.
handoff. And Blooming Grove is ready for it.
Yeah.
And I believe that was Jerry Montgomery on the carry for the Rice Bulldogs.
Brought down by Adam Tarver, number 50.
You know, Rice gets that play from the sideline. They don't huddle up, and they run up to that line of scrimmage and snap the ball lightning quick. And if the defense isn't ready, they'll catch them sleeping.
That's right.
Blooming Grove so far doing a great job at containing this power running game. There's a pitch right, trying to cut it back inside, and a good job at stringing it out.
And that was Nathan Alvarez said, no way, Jose.
Yeah, that was a great job that time. Number 20, Colton Nicholson, also in on that tackle.
That was for a little loss, Jordan. Lost about 2 or 3.
And I believe that was Jackson Hoover, 22, double deuce there on that tackle.
Yeah. 6 minutes, 54
Probably both
seconds.
of them.
5 minutes, 56 seconds left in the first quarter. 6-0, Blooming Grove still on top.
The Bulldogs to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers left, spread formation. Rolling left is Myers. Pass downfield, almost picked off, intended for Montgomery.
Yeah.
And broken up nicely along the way by a host of line defenders. Now Montgomery's shaking up on the play, Marcus. They can't afford to lose Montgomery, too.
Sir. Yep. Everybody's taking a knee and getting quiet and to see what this outcome is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, last game of the season, this is for the district championship. You don't want to see anybody hurt tonight.
No, not tonight. Got big games coming forward. Oh, he popped on up. He said, let me get out of here.
And he's up on his own accord and walking off on his own power, and that's a great sign right there.
He likes that. 5 minutes, 41 seconds left in the first quarter. You scored 6-0. The Bulldog, I keep on.
The Lions.
Lions.
On top 6-0.
That's right. Uh-oh, do I see somebody trying to put their hands in their shirt? Get cool out here now.
The Bulldogs will punt the ball away this time on 4th down.
Oh, no. And it came right back to him.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's going to be about a 7-yard punt,
7-yard
Marcus.
punt. That's not good. 7-yard punt.
I mean, you're going to have to maybe look at possibly going for it next time since your starting punter is out hurt. If you're only getting 7 yards, it might behoove you to go ahead and go for the 4th down yardage on that play if your punter's hurt.
For sure. And Brian said, did we get any more of that smoked bologna tonight? No, you can bring us some.
I tell you what, that sure was good. We need something smoked tonight, I tell you. Good old barbecue sounds good on a cold night in Texas high school football. It looks like Kelton Bell will be in quarterback now, and he's going to toss it out left to Jalen Coleman. And look at Coleman rumble. And Coleman's got a first down and 17 yards to boot.
Oh, my.
And that was just an old toss left and crack back to the right, and there you're off to the races.
Yes, sir. He did his thing then.
Nothing fancy about it. Just do it to it.
Old-fashioned pitch.
And Bell still in at quarterback. Colton Nicholson in as the up back. And Bubba Beacom in there on the right side of Bell. Penalty marker comes in. A false start on the play by the offense. That'll back the lines up 5 yards. And we'll replay first down.
Yes, sir. Look like Daniel Cleveland coming in for Adam Bernal. Or Bernal.
Yeah, Bernal. Kelton Bell fumbles the snap, and now he's running for his life, and he's going to be tossed around and hit and sacked. And they're going to say forward progress was stopped around the 47-yard line.
And that was Marcus Diaz on the sack.
I tell you what, Diaz didn't play.
Also number 25, Jerry Montgomery, the linebacker.
Yeah, it's going to be second down and about 28 yards to go. Yeah, right at 28 for Blooming Grove. And now Bell's going to stay in the ball game right now while Timmy Hamilton's on the sideline.
And both of these guys don't go into no huddle, Joe. They just talk to the coach and go.
Get the plays and go with it. Spread formation. Coleman on the left side of Bell. There's a snap. And I believe that there is a timeout charged on the field.
Like the coach didn't like what he was
Yeah,
seeing.
he didn't, and there was a different alignment than what they were used. They're supposed to be lining up
man.
in, and the coach Irvin Chandler hollers for
Yeah, I'm trying to
timeout,
tell
and he
you.
gets it with 4:11 left to play in this first quarter here in Blooming Grove for the district championship, where the Blooming Grove Lions are on top by a score of 6-0, and that was courtesy of Timmy Hamilton. Marcus,
Okay. Little Timothy all over the place, huh?
little 3-yard run for a touchdown.
Yeah,
After leading them down the field.
right.
Looks like Coach
Coach. Yeah.
Coach Chandler's got him a two quarterback system going here in Blooming Grove.
And both of them doing their thing. 4 minutes, 11 seconds left in the first quarter. Your score is still 6-0. Blooming Grove Lions are on top. And here we go, back into action.
Well, it's going to be second down and very long to go for the Blooming Grove Lions. Bell is still the quarterback. Little toss to the right to Coleman, and Coleman works his way across the 45 down to the 41-yard line before he stopped. Penalty marker flies in after the play.
Yeah, I think they were kind of unsportsmanlike conduct, I think, that by number 20, looked like number 25, Jerry Montgomery.
This may be called against the Rice Bulldogs here.
Yeah, he kind of gave him a love tap after.
Dead ball personal foul is the call against the Rice Bulldogs. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and automatic first down.
That's not good. Like you said, this is a big game for these guys, and you know they playing with so much adrenaline. Three minutes on this clock, 3:58 left in the first.
There's a snap to Bell, and
got another?
again another false start.
Wow.
And, you see the nerves. You
Yeah.
just talk about it,
Yeah.
and you see the nerves right there. Those offensive linemen jumping up front. And you know we talked about this last night in our broadcast in the Malakoff game. You know this is a game that you need to be polishing up on for the playoffs.
Exactly.
But this is also a nerve game for this. This is a different game than last night. This is for the district championship.
Most definitely.
A lot of nerves being played on this field tonight.
First and 15 from the 31.
Here we go.
Bell at quarterback. Coleman on the left side. Little toss to the left to Coleman. They're just going to let him run.
Yeah.
And they're just saying, hey, I'm going to toss it out to Coleman and see if you can catch him.
And he was slammed down by Carson Selman.
Yeah, and there's nothing fancy about this brand of football. You just
throw it.
toss it and let your running back go.
That's right. And that's like a dangerous throw right there, ain't it? Like it's wide open.
Yeah, it's very
That's a
dangerous.
little pitch.
Just got a scoring update. Brock and Pilot Point are locked up at 7-7. And Bubba Beacom is going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage too, Marcus, for about a yard or two loss.
By Juan Paredes. Man, he got up in there. Making it third and about still 8.
Well, I tell you what, Rice is really flexing their muscle right here on this drive for Blooming Grove. And Blooming Grove's hurting herself a little bit with the penalties. Rice playing some strong defense right
sir.
now.
Yes,
Third
they are.
down and 9 up and coming here.
Let's see what this brings on. Here we go.
Bell, the quarterback.
Uh-oh, he
Bell's
takes for a
gonna,
sneak.
yeah, he's going to call his own number. He's hit hard
Yeah.
on the far sideline, and he's not going to get close to first
not
down
getting nowhere.
yardage. And I tell you what, there's some hitting going on out there right now on that football field, Marcus.
Carson Selman and Juan Paredes was right there. They're not letting them go around that corner. Ooh, that was scary how he holding that ball too, George, with that one hand out. Man, oh man. Clocks are ticking. 1 minute, 53 seconds left in the first quarter. Lions on top, 6-0.
Down in 5 from the
Coleman in the backfield, and Bell still in at quarterback. Coleman on the left side, and Bell jumped a little prematurely, but Bell calls his own number, and Bell close to first down
he
yardage.
got
I
it.
believe he got the first down.
Yeah, that second dive got it. Carson Selman's almost had him, but just couldn't hit him.
Couldn't wrangle him down.
Bring him back a little bit, yeah.
It looks like that the Blooming Grove Lions are threatening to score once again here.
Yes, sir.
Just when we thought that the Bulldogs were going to stiffen up, Bell has a change of plans. Bell now rolling to the right. Has some blocks out front, but what a great play by Montgomery to bring him down from behind.
Yes, sir. Great play by Montgomery. And great tackle by Montgomery. We already said that. Let's say it again. Montgomery on the tackle.
That's going to be a nice loss for the defense.
Yeah. Brings the like
second down and about 16 yards to go.
42 seconds left on the first quarter. Clock is ticking. Play clock down to 3:13.
Bell standing at quarterback.
Oh, like we have.
And there's a whistle on the play. I didn't see a flag. A timeout is called on the field of play by the Blooming Grove Lions with 31 ticks of the first quarter left. Blooming Grove on top by a score of 6-0. So an old-fashioned slugfest already,
man.
But Blooming Grove coming out just a little bit more fired up, it looks like, right now than Rice. But Rice showing little signs of life here, trying to bow their necks here close to the goal line. And this would be a big play and downs, or 4 downs right here, if Rice can hold Blooming Grove out of the end zone.
And Joe, this has been a game I haven't seen in a long time. Run, man. And, I'm used to the guys passing it, But
we talked about this,
game,
and, this is what each coach wants to do. They want to try to establish the run game often and early, and they're doing just that. It's their game plan. If they need to pass, they'll try to pass, but they're going to keep it on the ground most of the night tonight. You don't want the other team to have the ball in their hands.
That's right.
Sometimes you just play the old game of keep away there. Bale back to pass, looks to the right, finds an open receiver, and juking and jiving down to the first down. Justice Revel with the catch. And nice footwork after the catch, and that's what you want to do. Kind of that bubble screen right there. And if you're the receiver, you want to try to weave your way through the defenders and get some blocks along the way by your offensive other compadres at receiving position as well.
And that'll end the first quarter with 6-0. Your Lions are on top, and the Lions are in scoring zone.
Yeah, the Lions on top 6-0, and your Rice Bulldogs are trying to hold them out of the end zone right now.
That's right.
So the end of the first quarter, they'll exchange fields here. Your Rice Bulldogs trailing 6-0 here so far. I'd like to shout out to all the Rice ISD for being so helpful for us to be able to live stream this game for everyone tonight, and also Blooming Grove as well. Great job, folks, and we appreciate it.
And also, this was senior night. All the seniors, you got to come out and
senior night in Blooming Grove.
Making some memories tonight. Last game on the field, and this is some grass, George. It's the first time I've seen grass in a long time.
No turf here tonight. It's old-fashioned football field.
Sir.
It's nothing but grass. And
we like to play.
Talked to a friend of ours we used to work with over at Corsicana. We stayed home. He's doing the upkeep on the field tonight. And he's got it in great shape, I tell you.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Couple of area scores. Sulphur Springs on top of Corsicana in the first quarter with 2:44 left to play, 14-0. West on top of Maypearl right now, 13-7. And Grandview and Madison, Dallas, Madison, and Grandview all locked up at 3. And Commerce over Mineola in the second quarter, 13-0. Oh
my! Oh my!
Goodness gracious!
And here we go. Started the second quarter.
Bell at quarterback, and Bell hands it off to the first back through Beacom, and Beacom is going to be marked shy of the goal line.
Wow.
He just didn't get in.
Just didn't get in. They got the first down, though. So they got 4 more times.
Yeah, first and goal now for the Blooming Grove Lions.
Right there on the
Winsboro on top of Pottsboro right now, and we just talked about Pottsboro, but Winsboro on top 7-0, and they've got a pretty ferocious running game in Winsboro. There's the handoff again to Beacom, and he stopped again.
He stopped again. Knocked
tell
down
you
by
what,
number 22.
These Rice Bulldogs showing some heart right here, trying to keep Beacom and the Lions out of the end zone.
I tell you, Carson Selman ain't playing no game under there. He just stopped 2 major, could have been touchdowns from the Lions.
Carson Selman doing a great job for the Lions.
Like this ball is on the 2-yard line.
Yeah, Selman 15 solo tackles on the year. 2
Oh,
tackles
my.
for loss, and another
Look at that,
great play
another.
right there.
Boy, that was by Jamie Hernandez. Stop that play right there, man. Look at here.
Yeah, Jaime Hernandez there
Yeah.
makes the stop.
Yes, sir. Yes, he did. Man, that brings it to 3rd and 3. They lost a yard on that one.
Yeah, it's 3rd and goal, and you know, they keep getting pushed back
Yes, sir.
by this Rice Bulldog defense here. Bulldogs showing some strength right here.
Yeah. Good
Watch
goal
out
line. Yeah.
for Coleman right here. They're going to try to get to Coleman, I bet. But no, the quarterback, Bell, calls his own number, and he's going to get into the end zone for the score from 3 out. And Kelton Bell just found a little seam on the right side and let his legs do the rest. Now this will swing in gate. And they will attempt the extra point on this one. Just a little showmanship by the Lions.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Rosas. And now they're going to switch it up here.
Oh, my.
They're going to go for 2.
Oh,
And what a defensive stop right there.
No suit.
And a nice play by Bryson Clark, the senior.
Man.
And he stopped Timmy Hamilton in his tracks.
I'm trying to tell you.
Looked like they
Yeah.
were going to go for the PAT
Yeah.
and changed it up. And a little bit of chess going on there. And once they did that, they said, wait a minute, we're going to run this in or try to run it in for 2. And Rice's Bryson Clark comes in and lays a lick.
A great tackle. I'm talking about hit his legs and wrapped up.
Yeah, Hamilton's pretty hard to get down in the open
sir.
field. And listen, Clark laid a lick on him and stopped that 2-point conversion attempt. So 12-0 is our score, 10:24 left in this half. And right now, it's an old-fashioned game of slugfest football, if you will.
I'm telling you, I will. Man, oh, man.
I'll tell you what, just impressive the amount of folks from Rice that over there on the visitor side. And Blooming Grove has quite a few people down here. Of course,
Grove packed on the side.
everybody, social distancing. But the Rice folks on the other side of the field have packed the stands nicely, supporting their Rice Bulldogs.
On this cool night, I'm telling you, got to bring the coats out now.
Yeah, you do, and I, I'm still wondering and hoping that Tommy Bernal is going to be okay because, he was one of their leaders defensively on the field for the Rice Bulldogs, and you lose him, and you lose your punter too, and that's just a big, that's something big to overcome right there.
Blooming Grove will be kicking into the wind this time.
Yes, they will. Blooming Grove kicking from our left to our right. Rosas, again, handling the kicking chores. That's a very high end-over-end short kick, fielded at the 24-yard line. And tell you what, nothing doing right there for Mike McMillan for the Rice Bulldogs. Great special teams play that time by the Blooming Grove Lions.
Yes, sir.
Tell you what, Coach Irvin Chandler has really got this group from Blooming Grove fired up, Marcus,
yes, he does.
tonight.
He's fired up himself, Joe.
Yeah, he really is, especially in pregame. You just got that feeling when we talked to him earlier that he was just so intense. Even just parking. Yeah,
let's go.
I mean, he was fired up just about parking.
He gave us a good parking spot, too.
He did. Back to pass, Zach Myers. And Myers
took it by itself.
Yeah, little weave and bobbing here and got 4 yards on the run. Not a bad run by Myers.
Yeah, he brought down by 76. That's Jesus Sanchez.
So Josiah Morris in the backfield with Zach Myers. It looks like they're trying to change their game plan up, going to a spread offense now. 3 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Morris in the backfield. It's going to be a pass. Looking for Jesse. Now he rolls to the right, under duress, throws it downfield. Pass is caught and complete by number 6, Luke Chapman. Number 8, And Luke Chapman has enough for the first down at the 44-yard line of the Rice Bulldogs.
And that was just a great play there, Joe. He took his time, went to the left, didn't see nobody open, then rolled on to the right.
And what he did when he froze the secondary right there by rolling to the left and then does a 360, goes to the right, and then finds Chapman downfield. Great play. Myers back to pass, rolls to the left, looking for Jesse, and he's just going to he tries to get it to him.
Yeah, still.
That was Brett Farvish right there by the young man.
Yeah.
And Jesse almost come down with it, too.
Yeah, he almost come down with it.
I didn't think there was no way that he was going to get his hands on that ball, but he almost brought it down.
Yeah, Jalen Coleman kind of pushed him out of bounds and, threw him off guard just a little bit.
And Jesse's one of these receivers, and he's going to be tightly covered tonight by Bubba Beacom. And this is a matchup we need to watch all night long, Marcus, between Beacom and Coleman.
Oh, yeah.
You got 2 star players for each side of the ball here playing against one another. There's a snap. He looks for Jesse again, trying to find somebody under duress and has to throw it in the dirt, incomplete.
Yeah.
And that was a coverage sack right there.
Yeah. Coach is thinking that was a fumble.
Jesus Sanchez there with a lot of pressure, along with number 75, Nathan Alvarez.
Yeah.
For Blooming Grove, applying that pressure and nowhere to go there for Zach Myers.
No, sir.
And I tell you what, defensively, the secondary did a great job of covering up the receivers. Zach Myers had nowhere to throw the ball to. It just had to eat it and throw it in the dirt, which he did.
Yes, he did.
At least he didn't take the ball and take the loss, because that was a heads-up play to get rid of it. Almost in the lines of passing, intentional grounding there.
Tell you what, Blooming Grove coaches thought it was, Joe, and they.
Well, it looked to me like he wasn't outside the tackle. You got to be outside the tackle first,
right?
Before when you throw it in the dirt. And I don't think he was, but it was close. They're probably talking about it right now. And
oh yeah.
I tell you what, Coach Chandler's a little bit upset at that one.
He was like, "Come here, let's talk about this one."
Andy Mills talking to the Rice Bulldogs over there. Head coach, athletic director, getting his troops fired up. Let's see what the Bulldogs can do right here, Marcus. Spread formation again.
Let's check it out.
2 wide receivers to the left. 1 to the right. There's a snap. 3-step drop. Looks right. Pump fakes. Throws down. Has a man. Oh, my goodness. Just missed him.
Hey, enjoy. That was 6. That was a perfect play. What he did, went out, stutter step, stopped. Then took off real fast again.
I tell you what, and what we had, Zach Myers gave a great pump fake at the line, and then lost it up for Daniel Cleveland, who was racing down the right sideline. I mean, unevaded to the end zone, and just couldn't connect that one.
Man, oh man.
Now the Bulldogs will have to punt this ball away on 4th down. And Hernandez on the punt. This one was a good punt right here. It's going to be returned. And coming along the right side, has some running room. Down the right sideline. Joshua Revel is dragged down at the 24-yard line, and what a return right there.
Oh, my.
By the Blooming Grove Lions, and the Line faithful are on their feet right now. And that's one of those things you can't allow on special teams. We talk about this each week, 3 phases of the game. There's offense, defense, and special teams, probably one of the most important aspects of the game that sometimes gets overlooked.
Saving touchdown by Adrian Santano. Man, because he was all the way, Joe. 8 minutes, 48 seconds left in the first half. 12-0. Lions are on top.
And a penalty Our timeout on the field charged.
Ooh, ain't gonna be no more timeouts at the Wildlands.
Well, there's only 8:47 left to go in this half, Marcus. So you need to gather your troops now because Blooming Grove's in scoring position.
Yes, sir.
And Coach Andy Mills and company calls that timeout. And I think that's a pretty wise decision to calm your team down right there. So a great job by both ball clubs so far. Coming out hungry, both of them are. Blooming Grove right now just has the edge.
Right.
It's what you call home field advantage. I don't care how you slice it or dice it, but when you're playing football at home, you usually play a lot better when you're at your own house.
Exactly.
But Rice certainly not out of this one by far. 12-0 is not an insurmountable lead to come back from. And I like what Rice is doing right now, opening things up here with a spread and trying to get the ball downfield. And they've had opportunities, just couldn't connect so far on a couple of deep passes. One of them, that last pass to Daniel Cleveland from Zach Myers. It looks like Blooming Grove quarterback number 2, Timmy Hamilton's coming in, which he's wearing number 8. And Hamilton's going to call his own number. Takes it inside off the left tackle. Stiffs arm one defender and still trying to fight for yardage. He's close to a first down.
He was brought down by knee contact.
And I believe it's going to be about a 9-yard pickup on the play. Yeah, right at 9.
Yeah, brought down by
a host of Bulldogs.
Jared, Here we go.
Little inside delay draw that time to Beacom. Not fooling too many people on that one. And number 64, Ethan Gray in on that tackle.
Yeah.
Also number 22, Carson Selman.
Yeah.
Selman and Gray teaming up to stop that. And I tell you what, Rice read that one, but
Yes,
not
they did.
before Blooming Grove got a key first down right there. But that could have been a big gainer, probably 6 points, had those two young men not recognized that play.
Yes, sir. Ball on the 11-yard line. Let's see what they do from here.
Hamilton's the quarterback. Coleman on the right side. Little bubble screen pass, and nothing doing right there. Great job on defense. And initial contact made by Damian Aguilar.
Brought down by Jerry Montgomery.
Jackson Hoover with the catch.
Yeah, Damian Aguilar did a great job bringing the initial contact.
Yeah.
I believe that was Hoover on the reception for the Blooming Grove Lions. 2nd down and 12 now for the Lions. They did a great job of turning that play inside, did the Rice Bulldogs. On that little bubble screen right there, your defenders, your corners, should turn that man inside that's on the offense trying to run the bubble. And they did just that. And here comes Hamilton, but the Rice Bulldog defense, mainly Bryson Clark again.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
How many times are going to call his name tonight?
I tell you, he's doing great form tackling, George.
Well,
he's
what.
catching it. He's wrapping up.
He's stepping up and taking the place for Bernal. I can tell you that right now.
Yes, sir.
Bryson Clark has 2 interceptions on the season also.
Start calling him Superman, Clark Kent.
Coleman on the right side. Hamilton back to pass. Throws
Wide
one deep
open.
right corner. And it's going to be a catch in the end zone for the score. And it's also pass interference. My goodness, what a catch.
Oh, my.
And that was Hoover on the reception.
Hoover sucked that ball up.
Goodness gracious. And Hoover all alone in the end zone. And the left cornerback for Rice couldn't get back in time, ends up running into him. And the concentration for Hoover, he brings it down in the end zone for the score. Great job by the young man Hoover.
Yes, sir.
See if Rosas attempts the extra point. That kick is up and splits the uprights for the PAT. And our score now 19-0, Blooming Grove. And I tell you what, Rice a little stunned right now. Blooming Grove has come out on fire.
Yes, sir.
And like we always say, it's not over till it's over.
Until the fat lady sing. That's something like that. Plenty of time.
Well, I tell you what, again, you talk about injuries to your ball club, and I hate beating a dead drum or dead horse. But Bernal is a key factor for that team, and when he went down, it kind of changed the complexion of the offense too.
It did.
So you've got to fit somebody in for Bernal. They've went to the pass, and I like what they're doing there. They've got some young men that are open, and they're getting some protection too. They just couldn't connect so far. So let's see if Zach Myers can get his troops rounded up on offense at quarterback and make some of these passes downfield to his receivers here on this drive.
And that's what seems to be working. Like you said, the pass is working for Rice right now, so maybe they can get a good one and take it on home.
You know, the Rice wide receivers are getting open. That's not an issue. They're getting open, but there is a strong breeze tonight blowing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hindering some of those passes, making them hang up in the air just a bit tonight.
Yes, sir.
So.
Yes, sir. That breeze is getting me now. 6 minutes, 18 seconds left in the first half. 19-0. Lions on top.
It's going to be returned by Jaime Hernandez, and Hernandez makes a nice return all the way up to the 35-yard line. 10-yard return for Hernandez and the Rice Bulldogs.
Brought down by the Hoover man, George. He got out there and
Hoover's doing everything.
Man.
Let's see if Zach Myers and company can get things started here. Luke Chapman, McMillan, and Morris in the backfield now. Looks like they may go to that power I formation and hand off to McMillan, and McMillan churns his way up for a 4-yard gain. So a little mixing it up now here.
Brought down by Colton Nicholson.
Running that power formation. We call it the big backfield is what we call it. Official timeout on the field. I believe somebody has a helmet problem or maybe an injury on the field. I believe so.
Yeah, it was an injury. He let him come
on. Yeah,
back.
Carson Selman, you know, we saw him earlier. He was wrapped up very tightly on that right shoulder tonight before play even started, and it looked like he was dragging it. There's going to be the toss right there. McMillan has running room. McMillan over the 50 and bulldozing the lines down across the 50 to the 45-yard line. A great run by McMillan.
Yeah, he carried a couple of them that time, George. Brought down by 15, DeMarco DeBro.
And another player down for the Bulldogs on the field. And I tell you what, as hard as McMillan was running that time, I've got to wonder if he didn't ring his own bell.
He probably did, man. He was rolling. He was rocking on the roller.
Looked like a little freight train rolling across the 50-yard line.
Yes, sir.
Or maybe even a bowling ball rolling over blue pins. Goodness gracious.
And he did a strike, too. Right now we have a player down. 5 minutes, 32 seconds left in the first half. Your score is 19-0. Your Lions are on top.
Jerry Montgomery, the injured Rice Bulldog.
Now the Bulldogs looking over to the sidelines to Coach Mills and company for the play. Zach Myers still at quarterback. Officials rolling that arm, trying to start that clock. And there it goes. Kobe Jesse, receiver to the left, all by himself. Going to be a handoff to the up back. And that's Luke Chapman churning his way for a gain of 8 yards on the run, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
And once these running backs from Rice get ahead of steam, they're low on that shoulder and keeping their feet driving and earning extra yardage.
Yes, they are.
They're starting to look pretty good here on offense.
I just love how they get on that line real fast and go.
Oh, yeah, it's fast. Here's a pitch out to Morris.
Got room.
And Morris takes it to the outside.
Woo!
And Morris has the first down, but, boy, I tell you, he was hit by Colvin on this left side, on the home side, and wrangled down from the neck, I believe.
I'm telling you, another one of them clothesline look like. Man.
But a first down nonetheless, Josiah Morris. I thought maybe if Josiah would have turned it up back against the grain right there. He might have picked up a couple more yards that he's running into those defenders for Blooming Grove. Blooming Grove does a good job at spreading the running backs and the receivers across the field from sideline to sideline.
Right.
Hand off to the up back,
Oh.
and that's Chapman. And, boy, was he cracked that time by Bubba Beacom.
Yeah, Bubba say, come here.
Also in there was 75, Nathan Alvarez.
Yeah.
And 72, Andrew Melton, it looked like. Numbers are kind of hard to see out here.
Yeah.
Jerseys are blue and they're outlined in white, and I tell you what, from my vantage point, it's very hard to see these numbers. Here comes the Bulldogs up to the line very quick. Going to be a little pitch to number 23, Juan Paredes.
Yeah, and they run that ball pretty hard now, Joey.
Yeah, they're getting some momentum here.
Yeah,
and I tell you what, Rice is going to get, I believe Rice gets the football in the second half to start the second half.
Yeah.
And if they score here, Marcus, this is going to be a different ball game
Exactly.
here. It's going to be a different ball game. Rice coming up to that line ever so quick.
Wide open.
Myers rolling right and throws
overthrew.
downfield for Cleveland, and Cleveland was in double coverage that time.
Yeah.
I thought that the young quarterback there, Myers, he probably should have tucked that ball under his arm, and he had plenty of green there on that right side, possibly for a first down.
Yes, sir.
Maybe trying a little bit too hard to, spin the ball there instead of maybe running it. And it's unselfish play is what that is, but, sometimes you're going to have to tell your quarterback, if he's not there in double coverage, go ahead and tuck it up and run. It's not going to hurt to do that, especially with that much green ahead of you.
Yes, sir.
Up to the line real quick again. Going to be a handoff to Luke Chapman, and Chapman surges ahead for a gain of about 5 yards on that run.
Yeah, Chapman feeling himself right now.
He definitely is, and the Rice Bulldogs offensive line right now moving the the Blooming Grove lines backwards now.
Yes, sir.
They're getting some driving momentum here right now. Up again quick to the line. Myers rolls right, looks downfield under duress, has to throw it away, and incomplete. And I don't think anyone was around except the blue jerseys for Blooming Grove.
And here's a crucial fourth down right here, man.
Yeah, it is. They really need to punch one in right here, right now.
I don't know if they got the kick in the put on the three, but
yeah, I don't really believe that they're going to try to kick into this wind. It's a crosswind anyway,
yes,
and
it is.
well, the wind's actually probably blowing from the east. Going to be a toss, reversed.
Oh,
and look out now. Here comes Jesse around the right side. Jesse is stopped. Oh, my goodness.
I thought he was going to keep outside with that.
Oh, my goodness. And Kobe Jesse should have kept outside that play. He would have had the first down. Instead, he was met by two Blooming Grove defenders, and they'll turn the ball over. And, oh, my.
Look at that.
They really needed that one right there,
yes,
Marcus.
Sir. Yes, sir. Wow.
Yeah, he could have hit the edge right there, I thought, and gained that first down. And he cut it right back into the grain of that defense, and you don't really want to do that.
Not the inside. Well, they are all waiting for him right there. Man.
The Lions coming back on the field now, maybe trying to punch one more in before halftime. If you do it right here, you take the wind out of the sails of the Bulldogs possibly. But maybe these Bulldogs can get a turnover right here. A charge timeout to the Rice Bulldogs. Coach Mills and company is going to talk about this one with 2:28 left to play in the half, 19-0. And, boy, is that wind blowing now.
I'm telling. Look, I'm starting to get the sniffles now. Ooh-wee.
I tell you what, I thought Rice had a really good opportunity right there if they could have drove down and punched that one in right before halftime. But then you turn the ball over on downs, and now you're giving Blooming Grove, who's already got the momentum, another chance to possibly go down and score with 2:28 left to play in the half.
Yes, sir.
If they do, it's going to be a tough second half for the Bulldogs to come back from.
Here we go. Rice Bulldogs are back on defense once again.
Looks like Kelton Bell back in at quarterback now for the Lions. Going to be just a toss to the right.
Oh, he might got room.
And that's going to be Coleman. And Coleman has a first down across the 30 to the 33-yard line, maybe the 32.
Brought down by Mike McMillan.
17-yard pickup on the play. And that, I'll tell you what, it's almost like the option play right there. You get it, and it's just an option right.
Pitch it out.
Pitch out to Coleman, and Coleman just does the rest with his leg work. Beacom in the ball game now, tailback. Going to be a handoff to Beacom, and Beacom now finds a chunk of yardage. And a 12-yard pickup and a first down by the Lions, 2 consecutive first down runs.
He was brought down from the back by Angel Banda. Man.
And the defensive front, 4 for the Bulldogs, maybe getting a little winded right now, Marcus.
Yeah.
Rolling to the right, pass downfield is completed.
Oh, like that's been a late hit there.
That's going to be a late hit out of bounds, draws the flag.
Let's
Pass
see.
was completed to Jackson Hoover again, and that's going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct personal foul against the Rice Bulldogs. You really can't afford to do that if you're the Bulldogs at this point. You give them another 15 yards on top of what they already caught on that reception.
And great job by the coaches, moving the kids out the way to tell them to go back out there and play for no cause, no fight right
Exactly.
here. Right.
Blooming Grove, 2 wide receivers right, 1 to the left. Going to be inside draw, and what a play by the Bulldog front defender there, number 75.
Angel.
And that is going to be Angel Banda.
Yes, sir.
And we know Banda is a player to watch. We talked about him earlier in pregame.
He's starting to get warmed up.
So Banda with a great job. 4-yard loss in the play and thwarts the momentum just a tad. Bell back to pass. Rolls right. Looks right. Going to tuck it under and run. Oh, and he's belted at the 37-yard line. And my goodness, hello.
Yeah,
Juan Paredes. Oh,
him.
my goodness, what a hit.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Paredes laid the leather that time. My goodness.
Yeah, he smelled all his cologne.
And a timeout on the field charged to the Blooming Grove Lions. And that was a fine hit right there by Paredes. I tell you what, that was a big-time hit. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 13, and you talk about, the momentum here, but another play like that by the Rice Bulldogs, and they can go in the locker room, Marcus, and feel pretty good about coming out in the second half, not down by an insurmountable amount of points here in the second half.
57 seconds. Man, and counting.
19-0 our score here. Your Rice Bulldogs trail the Blooming Grove Lions. Been a great game so far. I've really enjoyed this game thoroughly between these two ball clubs. We're going to give some area high school scores here in a minute and go around the state of Texas.
Man, it's
at
starting to get real.
halftime because we don't have nothing else to do but talk. That's the only thing keeping us warm right now.
I'll tell you.
May have to let Aaron give the weather update here in just a minute. He's over there shaking.
Yeah.
He looks like Mr. Clean over there.
I'm trying to tell you.
Trying to come out of the bottle. I think I said, hey, dress warm tomorrow night because it's going to be cool.
You did.
Bell at quarterback, 5-step drop. Bell rolls right, tucks it under. He's going to run. Bell down the right sideline to about the 25-yard line. And I believe he's going to have that first down, Marcus. He does. They're going to give him the 24-yard line on that run. And that is just enough for a first down. And now the Lions have another opportunity to score.
Man, 44 seconds.
And Blooming Grove does get out of bounds, so that does stop the clock here.
Yes, sir.
Great job by Bell. Bell knew he had to get out of bounds and went ahead and got to the sideline and got out of bounds. Bell rolls right, looks left, throws downfield, and almost picked off.
Oh, man, he threw that between.
That was an ill-advised throw because he
Yeah.
threw that across his body right there, back against the grain. You certainly don't want to do that, and you certainly don't want to have a turnover at this point if you're Blooming Grove. But if you're for Rice here, you would love to have that one right there.
Man.
I tell you what, it's really whipping up here this wind. We're on top of the press box, folks.
Yes, sir. Just for you guys. We
Kelton Bell, 5-step drop, back, throws over the middle, caught incomplete, and that's going to be Coleman. Jalen Coleman.
Wow.
And he's got the first down inside the 10, and they're going to mark him at the 5-yard line, I believe, Marcus. What a catch right there by Coleman.
Snatch, one-hand snap.
It looked like they were setting up a screen right there, and that's what they ran. And this is going to be a handoff to Bubba Beacom, and he fires himself into the end zone, walked the dog, scored 6 for the Blooming Grove Lions.
Oh, my. 5-yard touchdown run.
25-0 now. Blooming Grove on top, trying that swinging gate once again. Boy, this just makes me nervous. And they're gonna try the 2 here. Bell swings it out to Beacom. And I just really think you try to kick the ball right there myself, you know. And, hey, maybe you're working on that for the playoffs. That could be in mind here. You're trying to work on different things, and it probably is. 25-0 our score. Blooming Grove over the Rice Bulldogs right now. 16 seconds before the half, and I tell you what, Blooming Grove is playing some football tonight.
Yes, they are.
Not taking away anything, but when you have an injury, I'm going to go back to this again, but when you lose somebody like Tommy Bernal, who is your punter also, Marcus, and he can't make it back in the game, it kind of affects the psyche of your football team because he's big-time player for your Rice Bulldogs.
That's right.
But Rice now, they're showing some signs and some flashes here. They just can't make anything come together in this first half. And let's see if they can maybe do it here with 16 seconds left in the half or come back after the half and try to get things going.
Yeah, looks like the Blooming Grove has scored 3 touchdowns in the second quarter, Joe.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, 3 to second. I mean, we ended it at 6-0 in the first quarter.
Right.
And Blooming Grove scores 3 touchdowns in the second quarter to just go ahead of this ball game 25-0.
Yeah,
19 straight points reeled off in the second quarter by Blooming Grove.
They only made 1 pat.
Rosas now will tee it off from his own 40-yard line. Rosas now with a deep kick. This is returnable, but they're going to have to pick that ball up and return it. And a nice little return now. The Rice Bulldogs. That's Carson Selman, and he makes a nice return out to the 30-yard line.
That runs the clock down.
Yeah, that'll be the half here. Well, let's hold up
Let's see,
just a second. The head official is saying there's some time still left on the clock, and I believe there is.
Yep. How many seconds they going to put on there? Let's see. He said he put 4 seconds back on the clock, Joe. 4 seconds.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happens when you're at home, Marcus. That time kind of runs a little bit faster.
Right. I'm trying to tell you. He said, nope, stop it at 4 seconds.
Yeah, I really didn't think that clock ran off that fast.
And I would go for a quick shot in the air with this one, Joe. It almost worked for him. It almost worked for him earlier, so let's see.
Yeah, and Blooming Grove is playing back, looking for Jesse Rolls left, and just throws it out of bounds. And, folks, that'll be the end of the first half in Blooming Grove, Texas, for this district championship contest between the Blooming Grove Lions and the Rice Bulldogs. Blooming Grove up on top by a score 25-0. Folks, we're going to take a break right quick, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Well, welcome back, folks, to the what we call the game of the week between the Blooming Grove Lions and the Rice Bulldogs. Second half of play up and coming here for you. The Bulldogs trail right now the Lions 25-0 in an action-packed first half, and a big loss to the team with Bernal going out in that first half early on. It kind of messed up the psyche of that Rice football team just a bit. You had to change some things around and just to get comfortable to later on in the half running that offense, it looked like, for Rice. But then they got a little comfort to them, had some success running the football, and really could have had some success in the air had they connected on 2 or 3 pass plays, Marcus.
Yes, sir.
We'll see. We'll see what happens now when we start things out here, and Blooming Grove's going to receive this ball to start the second half. So you really could have or should have punched one in to start before the second half if you're Rice faithful, and Rice will have to kick this thing off right here. But one thing you might want to look out for on this opening kickoff of the second half is the old squib kick. The onside kick, Marcus.
Oh, you think they'll go for that early
I don't
like
know,
that?
but you know what? They may be doing it.
You never know.
Trailing 25-0, you got to get a little spark somewhere, and it may be right here.
I'd like the coach was thinking what you were thinking too, Jordan. They set up for that swivel kick.
Yeah, and I've seen it done too many times. We've seen it done too many times. You know, you got a team down by 25 at the half. Jaime Hernandez comes out and. Boy, they were going to try. They looked like they were going to try it. They backed off of it. And let's see what happens now. Blooming Grove spreads out along the front. And they still could try it now.
Yeah, they still could.
Just because they didn't do it the first time. But he's going to kick it deep. Hernandez has a nice kick. Fielded about the 11-yard line. A little reverse right there.
Oh, my. No good.
And that didn't do anything. I'm going to tell you something.
That lost yardage.
I'm going to tell you something. Timmy Hamilton probably had about an 80-yard kickoff return for a TD if he would have kept that football.
But he ran into Carson Selman.
Yeah, I think he should have faked it right. If he would have faked that football right there, Marcus, he had nothing but green down the right side, 80 yards for a chance to get to the glory land in
I'm talking
6
about
points.
green grass, too, not turf.
But as it turns out, he didn't, and this is where we're at, and Rice makes a good special teams play and wasn't tricked in the fact that they tried a little trickery. So we thought Rice might try a little trickery, but Blooming Grove comes out and tries a little trickery.
Oh, my.
Timmy Hamilton, quarterback draw, and Hamilton's taken down at the 25-yard line.
That's by Angel Banda.
And Marcus Diaz also on that tackle, I believe.
Yes, sir. Look like the Rice Bulldogs come out with a little authority.
Well, I tell you what, they're big. That front 4 of Rice are big boys. Hamilton rolls right, little dump pass, and thrown out of bounds in a big way. Penalty markers in the backfield, though. And
I tell you, Carson Selman ain't playing with these kids.
Yeah, Colt Nicholson on the reception, and Selman gently throws him out of bounds, and there wasn't no gently to that.
I there wasn't no gently. He slung him.
That penalty is going to go against the Blooming Grove Lions, though, and so what gave them a little momentum right there goes back. A 10-yard holding call on that play against Blooming Grove, and now the Lions are backed up, 2nd down and 20.
Yes, sir. And I tell you what, it is chilly out here, y'all. Woo-wee.
It most definitely, I can't even talk. It most definitely is.
Yes, sir.
Hamilton, the quarterback, Cleveland along the side of him. Or excuse me, Coleman.
Oh.
And that pass right there, incomplete. And Rice, that Rice defense stepping up now.
Yeah, that ball was batted down by Jerry Montgomery.
And listen, Rice is not out of this game. There's still a lot of time in the second half.
Yes, sir.
You figure Blooming Grove scores 25 in the first half. Rice can turn the trick in the second half and score 25 as well.
Exactly.
We'll see what happens here. It's 3rd down and long now for the quarterback, Timmy Hamilton, who starts off the second half here as the signal caller for the Lions.
And we got a flag.
And a false start against the Lions, and they just keep going backwards right here. And I know Coach Irvin Chandler is not too happy about this.
Yes, sir. He moving his mouth, but he ain't praying. I can tell you that. He's talking a bunch of noise over there. 10 minutes, 56 seconds in the third quarter. The score is 25-0. Lions on top.
Hamilton, the quarterback. Coleman on the left side of Hamilton. Man in motion left to right. 2 wide receivers left. Little mix-up in the backfield, and they may have him for a safety.
Let's see.
But I believe they're going to stop the forward progress and award him to the 4 or 5 yard line there.
Wow.
So a
great job by Luke
great
Chapman
defensive,
and a bunch of defensive guys.
Defensive effort right there by the Rice Bulldogs, and Rice comes out strong.
Man.
Let's see if they can reciprocate that on the offensive side.
There you go.
As Kobe Jesse back deep to receive this punt, but Blooming Grove will have to kick this out of the about 8 yards deep from in their own end zone here, and this could spell a little bit of trouble. But a timeout on the field charged to the Lions to talk about this just a little bit.
Yeah, coach was trying to tell them something.
Well, you don't want to give up one quick right here.
Right.
On maybe a low snap, or you could get a safety. If you got a safety, you'd have to kick the ball back. There's a lot of different scenarios in play right here.
Right.
And I'm sure Coach Irving Chandler and his staff want to talk to his troops right now, calm them down just a bit, make sure they get this punt off.
Exactly.
And so there's no bobbled snaps or miscues of any kind, because I'm telling you, one turnover here, and it could spell disaster for the other team.
I'm trying to tell you. Shout out to D.D., Lewis, Wyatt, and TSU. Par.
Yeah, hello. Thanks for joining in the broadcast tonight. 25-0 our score here. Again, Jesse back deep to receive this punt. Looks like Rosas will handle the punting chores once again for Blooming Grove. Rosas, and that's not a very good kick. Again, that wind caught that punt.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I tell you what, Rice is got a very short field to work with here
Yes, they do.
at the Blooming Grove line, 25-yard line. And now you have an opportunity, Marcus. You can get you a quick score, kick the ball back off. Your defense playing well, and you're right back into this ball game. You'd like to see Rice score quick right here.
Here they go.
A little power running back. And there is Josiah Morris. And very impressed with the way Blooming Grove has stretched the field tonight from sideline to sideline. That defense, is pretty quick from sideline to sideline. They're being Rice, not able to get around the corner just too much on Rice.
Jesus Sanchez on that tackle, but a lot of razzle-dazzle footwork.
Yeah, Jesus coming up big there. Here they come up to the line. Going to be a quick one. And
no.
I tell you, no soup right there.
I'm trying to tell you. Stopped him in his track. Showed him that he is ruthless.
Yeah, that's
Sanchez again.
Yeah, Jesus Sanchez again steps up big for the
Sanchez
Blooming Grove Lions.
He's going back to back.
So both teams coming out playing good defense. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 11 to go for Rice. 8:57 to go in the third, and that clock's just a churning now.
Yes, it is. Tick-tock goes the clock.
Myers brings the troops up to the line. He's going to look for the pass. Throws right down the deep side for Jesse. And Jesse makes a catch, but I believe it's going to be out of bounds.
And pass interference, too.
But it is going to be pass interference. They're going to call that on Beacon. Let's see what they decide here.
They kind of sit there and fought for that ball a little bit.
The officials are having a powwow here.
Yeah, let's see what's up.
Let's see what they call.
It ain't the NFL, so they can't bring it to the goal line. I'll tell you that.
Well, they can't have an instant replay either.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Yep, pass interference against Blooming Grove is the call. And that's not a spot foul, but they are going to march some yardage off against the Lions. It'll be an automatic 1st down.
That'll bring the Bulldogs closer to scoring position. Let's see.
So the Lions now are backed up on defense, and Rice has the ball at the line, 10-yard line.
Wow.
Zach Myers will lead his troops up to the line of scrimmage. and is going to hand the ball off to Luke Chapman, and Chapman churns his way down for a gain of about 4 yards, perhaps 5.
Yeah, he was brought down by Bubba Beacon, but hey, he shook it loose for one tackle.
Well, I tell you what, Chapman is hard to see there amongst those big guys. He gets down there and he makes a cut left or right, and he's 3 yards down the field before anybody sees him. There's the pitch to Josiah Morris, trying to get to the left outside corner and can't do it. Run down from behind, and that's a great play right there.
Yeah, by Carter Grant.
Yeah, Carter Grant.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, that play is just too slow developing right there, and it gave Grant enough time to come backside and pull down a pretty quick Josiah Morris from the back. Bulldogs need to score right here, 7:39 and rolling in the third period. And this third period is going by quick. Myers under center. Myers looks to pass, looks downfield. He's going to tuck and run, has some running room, and Myers is going to get in the end zone.
Oh, my.
Walk the dog. Zach Myers scores the TD for the Rice Bulldogs.
8-yard TD.
And that's what you want to see right there if you're a Rice faithful. Myers thwarts himself into the end zone. A nice recognition. Saw his receivers recovered, saw an open lane, and took off running. That's what we wanted to see him do a little bit earlier as well. There's the kick. It's up, plenty of leg, and good by Jaime Hernandez for the Rice Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs on the board for the first time tonight here in the third quarter. 7:23 left. They trail the Blooming Grove Lions by a score of 25-7. We're going to keep it right here.
Yes, sir.
And a nice little drive right there on a short field for the Rice Bulldogs, Marcus. And right now, if you're Blooming Grove, you need to start concentrating on doing the fundamentals, get back to the basics of football here, because you don't want to have those penalties to cost you those yards that they had a while ago on that last drive.
I love it. I love it. And just like that, they finally got on the scoreboard, Joy. And like you said, their momentum is up right now. They might come out here and cause a stop again.
You know, there's plenty of time left in this football game. I mean,
Yes,
it's not an insurmountable lead to overcome. Like I said before, 25-7 right now.
Yeah,
And, you know, if you're Rice, you're getting a little swagger in your step right now.
I'm telling you. They scored with 7 minutes, 23 seconds left on the clock. So here we go again.
Bubba Beacom back deep to receive this kick, along with, looks like Timmy Hamilton. 2 speedsters for the Lions. And for the most part, I tell you what, the Bulldogs have contained the speed of the Lions pretty well.
Yeah.
Hernandez to kick off.
So Jaime Hernandez, now they do the onside kick and gets a bounce, but recovered by Blooming Grove and a nice return along the far sideline.
Oh, that just gave Blooming Grove good.
Yeah, you might not want to do that.
Right there.
But I tell you what, the trajectory of that kick, it bounced high enough in the air for something to happen.
Get it, yeah.
But I don't think the Rice players got down the field quick enough to recover that one.
Yeah, and I would have went, the defense worked so good earlier, I would have went kicked it far. And try to contain them down there.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I would have preferred the containment, kicking it deep right there and making Blooming Grove have a longer field to try to drive down besides a short field right here. Hamilton in at quarterback for Blooming Grove. Hamilton calls his own number, and Hamilton's going to gain about 3 yards on that run.
Brought down by Bryson Clark.
Bryson Clark, also Angel Banda in there.
Yes, sir.
Banda's been a young man we've called out several times tonight.
Banda.
I'll tell you what I think about Panda Express.
That's what I got.
They've got that honey sesame chicken that I really love. And then they got the honey almond shrimp and chow mein noodles. It's to die for, folks.
I'm trying to tell you.
Panda Express, Corsicana, Texas.
Gotcha.
Timmy Hamilton at quarterback. Calls his own number again, and Hamilton finds some running room, cuts back out to the outside. Down the right sideline he goes. Hamilton has first down yardage and pushed out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Big pickup right there.
Knocked down by Bryson Clark for the save once again.
30-yard
Touchdown
pickup
save.
that time by Hamilton, and that's what we talked about. You don't want to give Blooming Grove a short field right here, and now they're driving down, and now they're in the red zone once again and threatening to score.
14-yard line.
Spread formation, 2 backs in the backfield, handoff to Coleman, and Coleman is fighting hard to get into the end zone. He's going to be stopped just shy, but has a 12-yard pickup and a Blooming Grove first down again, and now Blooming Grove comes out, and boy, are they on fire. Let's see what Hamilton chooses to do right here. See if he calls his own number, Marcus.
Hamilton on the 2-yard. Oh.
And there's a penalty marker on the field for a false start. That'll go against the Blooming Grove Lions. Again, you get down here or you're starting to get a little momentum, and then you commit that penalty, and it pushes you back 5 yards, and it kills that momentum. And you've got to, right now it may be okay, but next week it may not be okay when you're in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So lining up again at quarterback is Hamilton, Coleman on the right side, and looks like Colton Nicholson on the left. Going to be a handoff to Coleman, and Coleman is going to be, he's going to be hit and stacked up like you said, my friend.
The ball carrier. Jalen Coleman, the ball carrier.
Hit by.
Yep, 64. It looks like Ethan Gray, Marcus.
Ethan Gray.
He was the first guy to make contact, and tell you what, Coleman ran into a brick wall right there.
I tell you. A gray wall, too.
He's probably asking who let the dogs out on that one, because Ethan Gray certainly was there.
Yes, sir.
Again, Nicholson and Coleman in the backfield. Nicholson on the right, Coleman on the left. Here comes Hamilton rolling out to his right. Stiff arms one defender, jumps up in the air and has to throw it away, but what an athletic move. Shades of Randall Cunningham and the Philadelphia Eagles right there. My lands.
Yeah, jumped up and got him some. Threw it out of bounds was, safe for him.
Yeah, I tell you what, third down. Great coverage down the field there by the Rice Bulldogs, Marcus.
Yes, sir. 5 minutes, 23 seconds left in the third quarter. Your score is 25-7.
Yeah, I think we've got
Lions on top.
Got the head linesman over there, blew his whistle, and they're going to have a little powwow about something or another here.
Uh-oh.
Not sure what's going on, but
that's never good. Let's see.
it must have been just that and just a powwow, because nothing resulted from that talk whatsoever.
Just a stopping of the clock. That's about it.
5:23 left to play in the third. The Blooming Grove Lions are threatening to score once again here, up 25-7 in the third. Nicholson in motion, right to left. Hamilton, the quarterback. Hamilton's going to call his own number around the left side. He's in for the score.
6-yard touchdown by Hamilton.
And you had a feeling that Hamilton was fixing to break loose on that quarterback keeper, and he does. Well, I tell you, this Timmy Hamilton is something else. A lot of athleticism back there at quarterback, and he gives Blooming Grove a whole new dimension to have to defend.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Rosas.
Has to attempt the extra point.
And Rosas' kick is good. And Rosas, I tell you, he's got one step to that ball and just nails it into the uprights. And, we talked about this last night in our game last night. How important is kicking going into the high school playoffs? If you don't have a kicker, you don't have a shot, I'm telling you, most of the time in Texas high school football, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And Rosas appears to be a good kicker.
Yeah, those 1 and 3 points will help you in the end.
They add up or they
sir.
subtract.
There you go.
So Blooming Grove up 32-7 with 5:20 left to play here in the third period in Blooming Grove, Texas. And tell you what, a big game we're following right here.
Yes, sir.
Winsboro up 15-7 over Pottsboro. My lands.
Man. Wow.
And
That's a shocker.
we thought that would be tough. Beniola upset Pottsboro. You could call it an upset, but they knocked Pottsboro out of the top 10. Beniola is pretty good, and Winsboro now showing that they're pretty good.
Yes, sir. Like you said, it ain't over till it's over.
It's never over till it's over, and that's why you love high school football. You never know what's going to happen. Each year is a different year. You just never know. Rosas teeing it off for the Lions. A short end-over-end kick fielded at the 25-yard line by Hernandez. And, boy, Hernandez was stacked up. No place to go there by that line defense.
And I like the Lions just lit up on that tackle, Joe. They good sportsmanship there. They could have.
Yeah, they really could have hammered him because they could have high-loaded him right there and did not. They pulled up. And you're right. That is great sportsmanship right there.
Yeah, that was Joseph Glasgow. Kind of say, okay, we got you down.
And, again, special teams play for Blooming Grove has been pretty good tonight as well. And you look for that going into the playoffs with, your football team, not just offense, defense, but how good is your special teams. Yeah. Back to pass is Myers. Myers downfield and incomplete.
Yeah, kind of overthrew him just a little bit.
Yeah, Beekman was there to break up that pass intended for Kobe Jesse, Marcus.
Yeah.
Kobe Jesse just couldn't get to that ball, and I don't know if I would have wanted to get it to it. It looked like he was hung out to dry to tad there.
Yeah, man. He caught that ball. He got lit up.
Myers coming up quick to the line of scrimmage. Handoff to the first back through, and that's Jerry Montgomery plowing through the heart of the line defense.
Stopped by Carter Grant.
And that's a 9-yard pickup on the play. Now it's a very manageable 3rd down and 1 for the Rice Bulldogs.
Yeah, they take a little relief out of them there.
Maybe do the same play right here. And there it is. And Blooming Grove was ready for it.
No love. No soup.
Well, I'll tell you what, Blooming Grove wasn't going to have 2 in a row of that.
No, they didn't. Number 8, Timmy Hamilton. And it looked like he's not feeling it. Hamilton needs to come out.
Yeah, that's going to stop the clock. 4:28 left to play, and like there's an injured line on the field.
He tried to make it to the out of bounds, but he just couldn't make it.
Yeah, I believe that is Sanchez. May have 2 players shaking up for the Lions right here. Looks like number 8, Timmy Hamilton, comes off the sideline pretty gingerly. And,
we got somebody else
Angel Banda or Marcus Diaz, one of the 2.
That's 55. That'll be, Adam Sanchez. You're right.
Adam Sanchez.
Yeah. Both of them getting up and walking off by themselves.
Sometimes this cool weather, you get hit a little hard, and it ding you up for a tad.
Yeah. And it hurts if you don't stay warm.
Yes, it does.
It's a hard hit in the cold.
Here comes the Bulldogs. Up to the line real quick. Going to be a little dive play. And that's Luke Chapman. And Chapman gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about all, Marcus.
Yeah, he brought down
looks like Hoover on the stop there. And Kelton Bell getting in there also for the Blooming Grove Lions. 2nd down and 10 to go for Rice. Quick snap. Myers rolls to his right, looks downfield, throws one downfield for Jesse, up for grabs.
Could have got it on the 2nd attempt, but just couldn't get it.
Yeah, they just broke the concentration enough, Beacom did. And a good attempt by Jesse. He almost had it, and he could have scored on that one. Again, we see the connection trying to be made right there, just missing once more for Rice, and that's just a case of the bad luck right there. Rice up to the line of scrimmage. Myers back to pass, rolls right, stops, throws downfield. And I'm not sure if that's going to be completed or not, but I believe it is caught.
Caught it,
a nice catch.
Like about number 2, at 12.
I believe that's going to be number 12, Daniel Cleveland.
Yeah.
And, Cleveland had to come back for that ball, too. He helped his quarterback by recognizing he was in trouble and coming back on his route. And a great job of recognition there by Cleveland. And it's going to be 4th down, and we're going to call it 6 yards to go for Rice.
Yes, sir. Shout out to the Chapman kids.
3 wide receivers to the left, 1 back in the backfield, spread formation, 1 to the right. Myers throws one left side for Jesse. And Jesse catches it. What a catch by Kobe Jesse for the first down. A clutch catch on fourth down. And what a throw by quarterback Zach Myers.
And he did a good job, Joe, by not letting his defenders know the ball was kind of close to him.
Exactly right. He did not give away a hint right there. That ball was up for grabs, and that's where he got him at, too. And he knew where he's at on the field as well, Marcus. Great play by Jesse. Myers, the quarterback. Spread formation again. Rice finding a little success now here. One back in the backfield. Myers rolls right, looks right, throws right.
Oh, he tried to squeeze it in there. Ooh.
Yeah, he tried to throw it in there.
Yeah, you got to, that's
just couldn't get it. And you're right, he's on the run, throwing across his body back to the left side, and that is a very dangerous throw right there to Chance, especially trailing 32-7 here in the third quarter. That was intended for Luke Chapman. So the Bulldogs from Rice, Texas, coming up to the line. Spread formation. Myers looks left, throws left, has Jesse. It's caught incomplete at the 20-yard line. They're calling it incomplete now.
Matthew Bubble kind of shook it up a little bit, Joe.
Bubba Beacom, I guess, might have jarred the ball loose, but I thought Jesse had came down with it momentarily. I guess I was wrong. So 3rd down and 10 for the Rice Bulldogs here. Zach Myers, the quarterback. 2 to the left, 2 to the right. Myers looks downfield, rolls right, under duress, steps up in the pocket, climbs up in the pocket, throws downfield, and it's picked off. Oh, my goodness. The Bulldogs throw a pick right here, and it's the Blooming Grove Lions still on his feet. Goodness gracious.
That was
Josh Glasgow. And a flag is down at the 25-yard line, but Glasgow with a fine return.
Yes, sir.
And Glasgow nursing a right hand injury, Marcus. You got to wonder if Glasgow is in the game without that right cast, how effective would he be as a runner or receiver? Blooming Grove has some weapons.
Let's see what's going to happen.
Glasgow looked to be a strong runner there. I tell you what, nice return. Just looking here.
I guess they're giving it to him.
Yeah, they took the flag away, and Blooming Grove will retain possession across the midfield stripe at the 48-yard line of the Bulldogs. 2:02 left to play in the third. 32-7 is our score. Blooming Grove on top in a big way here at home for the district championship between these two district rivals. Kelton Bell now in at quarterback for Blooming Grove. Colton Nicholson on the right side of Bell, now moves to the left side. 2 wide right, 2 to the left. Bell's going to call his own number, trying to get to the outside and does. Bell across the 45, runs into a defender and down at the 41. Nice run by Kelton Bell that time, getting around to the outside.
Yes, sir.
And listen, on those runs to the outside, you got to give your outside receivers credit because they're sealing that outside off for you to run around, and they're doing a great job of blocking downfield.
Yeah. Great stop by Morris.
2 receivers right, 2 to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Bell looking right, cups upfield now, sees the lane, exploits the lane, gets to the outside. He's to the 30, 25, and he'll be dragged down at the 25.
By Aguilera.
Yeah, Aguilera makes a tackle, but there's a penalty marker on the field. It looks like there's going to be maybe a block in the back. That's what it looks like. And it is. That'll be a 10-yard infraction from the spot of the penalty. And Blooming Grove has the ball now, 1st down and 10 from their from the Rice Bulldog 38-yard line. Tell you what, this third quarter has really went by quick.
I'm telling you, we got 1 minute, 4 seconds left.
And rolling.
I'm telling you.
Bell, the quarterback, Coleman on the left side of Bell. Another penalty comes in, and man,
Bloomer Grove jumped again, look like. Uh-oh, coach is hot about that.
Yeah, they're
Woo!
a little irate on the sideline right
Yeah,
now, some of
man.
the coaching staff.
Jumping again. $56 seconds and counting. Coach told him to get it right this time.
To the left, to the right, one man in motion, and another penalty
It seems
called.
like every time 50 points, Joy, they're calling them offside.
Well, and I think they got the outside receiver, Justin Revel, for movement, and I'm not really sure what he did. He's kind of got his hands up in the air, perplexed as well.
Well, they better get it right this time.
Again, penalties thwarting this drive for Blooming Grove. Spread formation. Bell calls his own number. No, he throws it. What a play. And Bell does a great job at getting that throw away.
Pick up about 10 on that play.
Well, he got a lot back, I tell you. Maybe 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And I believe that was 22, Jackson Hoover, on that reception for Blooming Grove. Does a nice job of weaving and bobbing downfield, and looks like a timeout will be taken on the field of play.
I think they're just going to run the clock out.
Well, that's right, end of the quarter, and it'll be an automatic timeout at the end of the quarter. So we've completed 3 here in Blooming Grove, Texas for the district championship. And right now, everything going the Blooming Grove Lions' way by a score of 32-7. But it's not over, folks, yet.
Not over till it's over.
Not over till all those zeros hit that clock in the fourth quarter.
That's right.
And we'll hang around here and see if the Rice Bulldogs can give an effort to come back. Kind of a cool night, if you will, out here.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, Joe, my toes getting cold now.
I tell you what, I'm glad I listened to some good old horse sense, and I knew it was going to be
You strapped
cool.
up pretty good. You strapped up pretty good. Got your toboggan on. And
my jacket.
Your jacket, you know. We got guys sticking their hands in their shirts and everything up here. Man.
Oh, yeah. It's a little chilly for sure.
Yes, sir. Speaking of chili, it's a good night for chili.
It is a good night for chili or some homemade soup, vegetable soup.
I'm telling you.
Good old deer chili. That sounds good right now.
Yeah.
Maybe some squirrel dumplings. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Huh? You don't know about the squirrel dumplings?
I don't want no squirrel dumplings. I don't want nothing like that.
Well, I tell you what, them squirrel dumplings, something else they cooked right.
Oui. No more. None of that for me.
Well, you've ate a lot in my house, Marcus. You just didn't know what you're eating.
Oh, man, don't tell me that.
Second down and 7 for Blooming Grove. And Timmy Hamilton around the right side has a first down and a little bit more.
Oh, he's still on his feet.
I tell you what, that was a top roping act down the right sideline for Timmy Hamilton. And
yes, sir.
I tell you what, how special of an athlete is Timmy Hamilton? He's the real deal back there at quarterback.
Yeah, he's getting down.
Impressive job from Blooming Grove tonight. And I tell you what, they might make a little noise in the playoffs, Marcus.
Yeah,
and you know, Rice could theoretically make some noise too. They've got to get their stuff together. But, you know, they've bits and pieces here played a pretty good ball game against Blooming Grove. But, you know, you just can't continue. You start losing players to injury.
Right.
There's the handoff to Bubba Beacom and cuts back against the grain. Spins off another tackle, still on his feet.
Oh.
And down to the 16-yard line goes Bubba.
Brought down by 81, Andrew Santoya.
Yeah, Santoya on the tackle. And I tell you, Beacom was like a little pinball in there, bouncing off defender after defender.
I'm telling you. Boing, boing, boing. Get it.
And Blooming Grove, I tell you, they're just looking to let this play clock go down as much as possible here before they snap the football.
Oh.
Well, I tell you.
They jump again. Don't tell me that. Illegal procedure once again, Joy. I know coaches, well, he got to practice on that this week, whatever he do.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's probably about 8 or 9.
It's at least 8.
Yeah.
A lot of false starts, and I'm thinking that they're getting the outside receivers on the false starts is what it looks like, but I'm not 100% certain. I didn't see any movement in the line. And Hamilton calls his own number around the right side, picks up a nice block around the right edge. He's going to get first down yardage and maybe 2 yards more, depending on the spot of the ball, but I believe he does have the first down, depending on the spot. Now they're going to mark him short.
14.
That's what I get for assuming.
Hey, that's what we do. 10 minutes, 50 seconds left in this game. 32-7. Lions are on top.
Yeah, I really have a feeling that by Coach Chandler's body language, he's not too excited about all those penalties.
Oh, yeah.
There's a snap. Going to be a handoff to Cleveland or Coleman, and Coleman scoots into the end zone.
14-yard touchdown.
Jalen Coleman, the junior. I tell you, Marcus, Blooming Grove has a wealth of weapons at their disposal. It's just finding out which one you want to use at what time, it looks like.
Yes,
They've got some players that can go. And there's the point after. It's up and good.
10:45.
And 10:45 left.
Yes, sir.
39-7 is our score after the extra point by Rosas. And now Blooming Grove in cruise control here, and it's going to take something special for Rice to get back into this contest now.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Tristan Clark.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's joined us tonight on this telecast of the Rice Bulldogs and the Blooming Grove Lions. Glad you've all tuned in tonight, and hopefully we kept you a little entertained and interested in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Not what we thought it was going to be. We thought it was going to be a little bit closer at the onset, and Blooming Grove has come out and really executed well. Now, they had a lot of penalties. You say, well, Joey, they're having a lot of penalties, but they have executed really well. They've just lost focus a little bit, and sometimes when you get overconfident or you get ahead and you're thinking of the next game, you can get overconfident as well.
And speaking of the next game, the loser going to play
Gunter.
hard
you go from possibly winning the district championship here. You either go to first or fourth.
Man.
And that's just the way this district has lined out tonight. Or this season, excuse me. There's the kick, and that's a free ball right now. It's going to be picked up by Selman, and Selman gets a little breathing room for the Bulldogs out to the 16, but that was almost trouble.
Yeah, brought down by Nicholson to stop that play. Man, for a loss almost. Well, there wasn't no loss. It was a kickoff.
Yeah, Selman, does a great job at getting the ball. It went past him. He picks it up and turns.
Kind of bobbled it a little bit, too.
Yeah, he turns nothing into something.
Yeah. Let's see what the Bulldogs can pull out the sleeve here, Jordan. Go back into the era like they've been doing. Been working for them, kind of.
So Rice led up to the line by Zach Myers. Going to be a handoff to Josiah Morris.
Brought down behind by Grant.
Yeah, Grant makes a good tackle from behind on that play, but 6 yards gained by Morris for the Bulldogs, and second down and 4. And now being an all-run team, we've talked about this all year long. If you're more one-dimensional than two-dimensional, then if you get behind in games like this, it's hard to catch back up if you're a running football team.
Right.
Myers throws downfield, and that ball is picked off. It's going for 6. That's a pick 6. And Revel jumps that route, intercepts the ball, and takes it home for around a 28-yard touchdown return on the interception for Blooming Grove.
sir.
And now you academically, this game's pretty much out of hand and over with for the Rice Bulldogs. I really hate that too for them.
Yeah.
But now Blooming Grove putting in the work on defense, scoring on offense. There's the kick by Rosas, and Rosas wormed that one and no good. Well, that leaves the score at 45-7, Blooming Grove. But again, you know, some of these mistakes, and you want to clean up going into the playoffs. Just got an update on the score. Pottsboro and Winsboro all knotted up at 15 apiece.
It's going to be a good game down there.
Get some more scores updated while we're waiting on the kickoff here.
And with 9:55 left in this whole ball game, we got 45-7. Lions are on top. And I'm cold.
Yes, you are.
And I don't know what to do.
Sulphur Springs 28, Corsicana 14. That's in the fourth quarter. Maypearl losing to West right now, 27-14.
Oh, my.
Grandview all over Madison now, 52-17 in the fourth quarter. They pulled away. In the third quarter, Mineola 28, Commerce 27, Van 28, Brownsboro 7. Athens and Maybank tied up 17 apiece.
Oh, man.
Teague over Fairfield 28-14, and Winsboro-Pottsboro tied up 15 apiece. Last night, the Malakoff Tigers kept off a district championship season by a score of 62-0. That was game played at Tiger Stadium, and you and I, my friend, called that game.
Yes, sir.
Fanadale over Trinidad 71-26, and Mount Vernon over Howe 17-0. Tatum 59, Sabine 17. Tatum kind of flexing their muscles too here right before the playoffs, showing that they're a team to be reckoned with as well. Tell you what, Corsicana just having an up and down season this year, and mostly down, not up. They've had some injuries and they really needed this win tonight. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to go their way unless something happens pretty quick. There's the handoff to Chapman. And Chapman fighting for yards.
Whoa.
Gets close to first down yardage. I believe they're going to give it to Rice, the first down.
Yeah.
Ball's on the 45-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Up to the line quickly. Toss left out to Josiah Morris, and Morris gains about 2 or 3 before he's knocked out of bounds. Quarterback Zach Myers slow to get up on his feet, but finally helped up, and he's walking on his own accord.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, you don't want to lose your quarterback right before the playoffs, and if you're the Bulldogs, you're going to make it into the playoffs. You're not going to like who you're going to face, but you need that quarterback. There's a toss to the power back. That's McMillan. McMillan, nice gain on the run.
Brought down by Jackson Hoover. I tell you, Jackson Hoover's on defense.
He's been doing it all. He's been doing it all tonight. It's Iron Man football, my friend.
Yeah.
This is probably as good or better as I've seen Blooming Grove look in years.
Yeah.
There's a handoff to Luke Chapman, and Chapman weaves his way across the 45 for the first down to the 39.
He carried a hurdle.
Yeah, he had lions on his back, Marcus, trying to eat him up. But he carried about 4 or 5 of them along the way with him.
Yes, sir.
First down for Rice. And if you're Rice, this is what they wanted to start from the beginning of the game right here, what we're seeing. And they just didn't – they couldn't control it tonight. And Josiah Morris picks up 4 down to the 35. Hamilton on the tackle for Blooming Grove. 8:24 and rolling here in the fourth quarter. Blooming Grove in complete control of this one, folks. And barring natural disaster or the end of the world, the Blooming Grove Lions are going to be the district champs of District 7.
Take it down to 6. Ball carrier Coretta.
Sent through the first back through, and no love for him either.
Third down.
Yeah, they're kind of bended but not breaking here, the Blooming Grove defense. They know they got this well in hand, but you still got Rice trying to inch forward towards that goal line. Quarterback keeper, and I believe Myers loses the ball.
No.
It's recovered by Blooming Grove after Myers had the first down. And I'm going to tell you right now, that was number 10, Carter Grant, who stripped that ball out of the hands of the quarterback from behind, reaches in and punches the ball, and now Blooming Grove has the ball yet again with 7:37 left to play in the fourth.
Man, oh, man.
Tell you what, this is a big, big victory here for the Blooming Grove Lions. And I got to tell you, they looked a part of a playoff team here, Marcus. They really do.
They looked a part.
18-yard line. Blooming Grove will have it, 1st and 10.
Looks like number 8, Timmy Hamilton, is in there at quarterback.
Timmy Hamilton, the quarterback.
And Hamilton, just a little dive play, called his own number and dove across left tackle there for a gain of perhaps 2 yards.
Brought down by Luke Chapman.
I don't think they're going to give him any yards. That's my poor eyesight.
They stayed still. No yards, George.
I thought he gained a couple, but I guess he didn't get back. Hamilton, Beekman in the backfield on left side of Hamilton. Hand off to Beekman. And Beekman now has a first down across the 40-yard line to the, 30-yard line to 31. It looks like they'll spot the ball. Now they're going to spot the 30. I'm just going to be quiet because every time I say they're going to spot it here, they move it back to the nearest yard line.
Man. Great tackle by Andrew Santoyo.
Yeah, the Blooming Grove coaches are telling Hamilton, telling Hamilton, hey, we're not in a hurry to snap this football. We're going to run this clock down as much as possible. And they could, in this game on this drive here, they're 70 yards away with just over 6 minutes left. Coleman in the backfield. Little bubble screen pass incomplete.
He couldn't hold on to it.
Looked like Hoover was the intended receiver.
He couldn't suck that one up.
That ball was thrown a little hot right there.
Yeah, a little low too. 6 minutes, 19 seconds left in this ball game. Lions still on top, 45-7.
Hamilton, the quarterback, Coleman on the left side. There's the handoff to Coleman. Coleman off left tackle, and Coleman to the 35-yard line. 5-yard pickup on that play.
Yep.
But that clock just keeps on winding.
Keep on winding.
So if you're the Bulldogs, you go back this week or this weekend and you start preparing for Gunner. And that's going to be a tough task, preparing for Gunner. But anything can happen in high school football.
Right.
And we saw a lot of bright spots here tonight from the Rice Bulldogs. And we wish them the best of luck moving forward as well. The Texas high school playoffs against Gunner. There's a little pitch out to Coleman. And Coleman running tough, trying to break away from a host of Bulldogs. He picks up 13 yards on the run.
Brought down by Juan Paredes.
So, again,
another first down, like you said.
It really doesn't matter who's running the football right now. Everybody that touches the ball is doing fairly well here for Blooming Grove.
Yeah.
Under 5 minutes left to play in this ball game.
Yes, sir.
Coleman on the right side of Hamilton.
Oh.
And I think that's
what
probably
that
going to
was.
be a false start, I believe. Everybody moved but the center.
That's right. Everybody moved.
He forgot to snap the ball.
Yeah. Let's see what it's going. I tell you.
It's hard to imagine they'd call this on Rice. And if I was a Rice head coach, Andy Mills, they called it on me, I'd probably throw my headset down in disgust. But that's not going to work that way. Oh, my lands. It is going to work that way, and I would throw my headset down into the ground right now.
It went that way.
Well, I'll tell you what I saw was the whole Blooming Grove line moved, and the center never snapped the football. But did they cross into the neutral zone before he snapped the football, caused the line to jump? I don't know. I didn't see that, and since we don't have instant replay, I won't know until tomorrow because I'll review it tomorrow. First down and 5, handoff to Coleman, and Coleman has another first down, and whistle blown, and he just refuses to go down.
Yeah. Talk about Dalton McDonald.
8-yard pickup on the play, and the Lions are just milking this clock for everything it's worth right now.
First and 10 from the 40.
So first down and 10 from the Rice Bulldog 40-yard line, and Bulldogs are content to just let this clock milk down.
Yeah, we're letting the play clock go down to 5 seconds now.
There's the snap. Hand off to Beacom.
Little Beacom, the ball carrier.
Beacom no gain on the play, but
Angel Banda.
they're not really worried about picking up many yards right here. They're just trying to
kill the
line
clock.
this clock down and take this 45-7 victory to the house. So there's Jubilee and Blooming Grove right now.
I'm saying they water too.
I'll tell you, you know, if you're a Blooming Grove fan, you've got to be excited about what you saw tonight out of your team. Barring the penalties, but everything else. There's a pass right there. Pass is complete to Bryson Fisher, and Fisher close to the first down.
First down.
So the junior getting a little action there on a unexpected pass.
They brought down by Carson Silman just again.
But I tell you what, they did right there. They moved the chains and created another set of downs to burn more time off the clock. So not a bad play call right there.
Right.
I mean, in that case, a little bubble screen is just like a handoff. First down and 10 for the Lions. Lions in no hurry to snap this ball whatsoever.
First down for the Lions, 30-yard line.
Beacom in the backfield, and Beacom gets the
Handoff
The
is
carry?
Beacom.
and Beacom's knee hit the ground, and he'll be called dead after a 2 or 3 yard pickup.
Yeah, once that knee hit, it's dead.
Yeah, he was thinking he's in the NFL that time. He's trying to take back off.
Sit down where you at.
So second down, 8 yards to go now for Blooming Grove.
Lions scrimmage a 28-yard line.
And we wish both teams the best of luck moving forward into the high school playoffs. Always a fun time of the year.
Yes, sir.
Make it into the playoffs. Hamilton, the quarterback, Coleman on the left side. Going to hand off to Coleman, and Coleman spins around one defender and still on his feet. And he's about 2 yards shy of the first down with just over a minute 10 on the clock
Tick-tock
left in
goes
this
the clock.
game.
Tick-tock goes the clock.
So third down and 2, and really the Lions just need to snap this ball one more time, and that'll do it here in Blooming Grove, Texas.
2-yard line.
And they're telling the quarterback, Hamilton, to look at the clock.
Yeah.
Wanted to look at that play clock, and they wanted to snap it with 1 second on the clock. He's not going to do it. He's going to wait. There's a handoff. Bubba Beacom is going to cruise into the end zone for the score. And, oh, my, you didn't want to see that if you're a Rice fan. But you can't tell your kids to stop playing. That moves our score to 51-7. Blooming Grove in a big way here. And the Blooming Grove Lions, district champions. Congratulations goes out to the Blooming Grove Lions.
Attempt the extra point. And the kick is no good.
Kick is no good again.
Yeah, the kick fails, so 51-7 is our score with 27 ticks of the clock left. Again, congratulations to both teams for making it into the high school playoffs.
Yes, sir.
And congratulations to the district champion, Blooming Grove Lions. And
You
Coach,
never know what happened in the playoffs, Joe.
You never know. You never know. I mean, football is all about matchups, too, and
right.
how well you match up against the other team. You know, you never know what's going to happen next week. Rice could go in and take it to Gunner.
That's right.
I mean,
you never know.
Some people may say, man, you're crazy. That'll never happen. Well, I've watched a lot of football, and I can tell you right now, I've seen a lot of strange things happen that really wasn't supposed to happen per the experts.
That's right.
So good luck to the Rice Bulldogs, and we appreciate the opportunity to get to come to Blooming Grove tonight and broadcast this fine football game for everyone out there at home who couldn't make it for whatever reason to the football field tonight. Increasing the COVID cases, and we get in the high school playoffs. There's no guarantee you're going to make it past round 1 or round 2 because of COVID.
You're right.
COVID may beat everybody.
Man.
So, I mean, we hope not, and we've made it this far, thank goodness, and there's been cancellations along the way here and there. But, we're fortunate to be playing high school football right now. Some states are not. So this is a privilege right now to be able to do this.
Something we love to do dearly.
Rosas will tee it off for the Lions, and that's just a little pooch kick up in the air. Fair caught by Jesse. Yeah, Jesse made the fair catch at the 35. And 27 seconds left, and the Blooming Grove Lions are celebrating, and the band is in full force over here.
So another one bites the dust, didn't it?
Yep. That is it right there. Again, looking at Blooming Grove and watching these kids play, they've got a wealth of talent.
Right.
There's the handoff to the up back and a nice run, and that'll that might do it right there. Juan Paredes on the run. I guarantee you Zach Myers may line them up one more time and snap this football. We'll see. I don't believe so, though.
He said that's enough.
I think Coach Andy Mills,
they're going to
do it.
One more.
There's a handoff to Morris.
Oh, no.
And Morris is hit for a loss. And that'll be the ball game. And the Blooming Grove Lions are the district champions.
Yes, sir.
Goodness gracious.
And they did it at home on senior night. The coach got the water, and it's cold.
It is cold. It's cold up here, but they deserve the water tonight.
Yes, sir.
I trust me.
They got another one coming, too. He don't know it. Oh, my.
That's the old Gatorade bath right there.
Oh, my.
And that'll really get the drawers wet.
Yeah, he better go get that cold off of him now.
So, District 7 champion Blooming Grove Lions celebrate with the
power now? We got power.
We do? Okay.
Hello. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
we
we were
unplugged.
we were unplugged there.
Wow.
But just want everybody to know we've enjoyed doing this game tonight for both teams, and good luck to both teams in the playoffs. We wish both the Rice Bulldogs and the Blooming Grove Lions good luck in the high school playoffs and moving forward. And Marcus, it's been a pleasure tonight.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be in action sometimes next week. We don't know when yet. We'll let everybody know. May even cover a game, another playoff game or two. We'll see what happens.
Let's see.
But anyway, folks, it's been an honor tonight. The Blooming Grove Lions do it once again, winning the district championship by a score of 51-7. And for everyone who's been a part of this broadcast, I'm Joey Snowden for Marcus Dow, Jonathan Snowden, and Aaron Scott bidding you farewell and good night